Greetings, Black family, greetings, and thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced in conjunction with the Front Line Blacc News. Shabaka will not be joining us this morning. He has an appointment. So Chris, who is seen to be threatening Shabaka, Shabaka will not be joining us this morning. So whatever gripe you have with him, you're going to have to wait until another episode to have that addressed. Now, on this season 11, episode 4 of Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Chase, in conjunction, indirectly, yeah. Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Chase, we'll be discussing several topics. We will be discussing. And the first topic that we will be discussing is the first topic that we will be discussing this morning is sports is as racist as white nerds. Do Blacc Fans care? Trump's immigration policy permanent. Guilty. ILHAN OMAR crumbles on CNN when confronted with Somali fraud scheme. Somalis are now blaming Black Americans for their problems with Trump. It's always our fault. Delineation has made the Asian community assess their relationship with Black America. Pan-African Ankh challenges FBA and loses. Grimeyness within the grassroots. And if we have time, FBA response to Dr. Ma's interview with Professor James Small. And until reparations comes, how much should FBA receive for reparations? And we are based out of East Denver, North Aurora, Colorado. We get the news from Front Line and Blacc first perspective. We are part of the new Blacc Media and also the signal boosters of the new Blacc Media. And we have been around for 6 seasons now on Front Line Blacc News and counting. And we have several platforms that are part of the Front Line campaign. Frontline Blacc News was the first one we started back in 2020, 2021. And Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced is based on the 50th anniversary of the founding of the original Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. And we started on Blog Talk Radio back in 2016 and have been around for 11 seasons now. Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced covers the Black experience from the beginning of time until 10 minutes ago. It is also a part of the Frontline campaign and has recently, within the last 2 years, moved from Blog Talk Radio to StreamYard. Please make sure you like and share the broadcast, family. Please join us on StreamYard, YouTube, Frontline Blacc News. The links to all of our channels are in the description, including Frontline Blacc News 1, Frontline Blacc News 2. Please make sure you subscribe to Frontline Blacc News 2. That's our backup channel, just in case they try to take down Frontline Blacc News 1. My personal page, Jesse Paris, aka Chan Chroma. Lady Chase channel, The Revolutionary Agenda, the RBA. Jay Militant's channel was Cracking TV with Jay Militant. Kukizi, our brother, does an intro track for the Frontline Blacc News, based out of Montbello, Denver, Colorado. His link is also in the description. In the Church of Black Power, a brother out of Watts, California, who's now in Houston, Texas. His link is in the description. And last but not least, we got our brother Black Truth United. His YouTube link is also in the description. Also, he came up with the B1 Rolodex. If you would like to submit certified FBA businesses to Black Truth United's Rolodex, the link is also in the description for that. The B1 Rolodex link itself is in the description. And we have the petition for reparations, change.org petition, please sign it. And we have Lady Chase GoFundMe. Please donate if you can. And shout out to Black Truth United for donating to Lady Chase GoFundMe. And then we got Help Greg Marcel Dixon Seek Justice after 10 years of dedicated teaching. That link is also in the description. The Chicago family whose mom was attacked by students. Their GoFundMe is also in the description. And we have copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use. The purposes is criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. And I do not own the rights to the music. If you don't understand racism and white supremacy, what it is and how it works, everything else you think you understand will only confuse you. In all 9 areas of human activity, it's economics, it's entertainment, it's labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war, and some say health and nutrition. And that was by Nellie Fuller Jr., who transitioned back in 2025, back in February, at the age of 95, produced justice.com. And when you're a Black person are captured by any race soldier, you must never fuss, fight, or flee. Comply and defend yourself in court. Also by Nellie Fuller Jr., produced justice.com. And last but certainly not least, we got racism and white supremacy as conscious and subconscious behavior to maintain white genetic survival to prevent white genetic annihilation. And that's by the great Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. May she rest in power. She transitioned back in January of 2016. So those are the topics. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. Greetings, Lady Che. Grand risings to you.
Hey, I was sitting here all quiet. I'd speak. Shout out to Blacc Media.
We got Breeze Omega in the building. B1 salute. We got Crew Reality in the building. B1 salute. We got Twin Pyramid in the building. And we have Chris Booker. Okay, so the first topic is sports is as racist as white nerds. Do Blacc Fans Care? Shout out to Professor Black Truth. This moment of truth last yesterday morning. I'm gonna play that. And salute, certified salute to Breeze. Says bigging you up, Lady Che. We got Crew Reality in the building, B1. We got somebody else is in here too. Rest in Power, Nellie Fuller Jr. and Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. That's right, Breeze. Produced justice.com, and we are still learning. Damn it, cat, stop scratching me. Let me hop right into it. That's the moment of truth from yesterday. And so shout out to Professor Black Truth. If you have not subscribed to Professor Black Truth, what in the hell are you doing? I've been listening to Professor Black Truth for over 10 years. And everything he said has come to pass. Let's see what the good professor has for us this morning. Grand Rising.
Family and fellow soldiers, I'm the professor, and this is the moment of truth. I guess it's emerged as something of a theme for the week, talking about Black people being part of things, putting themselves into spaces where they have to put up with white racism, and for some reason, they just don't want to disengage. Now, I'm not saying that if some white racist says something somewhere that you're supposed to head for the exits. What I'm saying is you can't make excuses for it. When you understand that the pastime or hobby or group activity that you like to be part of is infested with anti-Black racists, and you don't feel like you can call it out because it's going to put you on the spot, when you feel like you can't walk away from what's a reeking pile of anti-Black racism, then that means there's a problem. And you know that there's no example of this principle that's lower than Black people and sports. After Charlie Kirk got murked, a number of sports leagues teams decided they would do tributes to him. This was an unprecedented act of racial hostility by sports league owners whose history was already nothing but hostile. And yet, as a result, you still had none of those athletes who said anything about it. They all stayed mum. These are the exact same Negroes who told you that they were doing big things because they were taking a knee. Well, then what happened was now you got these team owners who are sitting here giving them the finger. Some people can recognize how Black geeks go out of their way to tolerate and make excuses for the racial abuse they get. So how is it that these Black sports athletes and their fans give the same tolerance and the same excuse making, but they don't see what they're doing? I guess that's the reason why whenever these Black athletes are talking about themselves, they always use words like perseverance and endurance, and you gotta gut it out and stick it out. Yeah, I bet that's what they've been doing in a large number of things. Now, I know for a fact that a number of you here happen to follow sports, you love sports, you watch them even after the Charlie Kirk tribute debacle, and you also idolize these players, you got all of their details memorized. But I'm telling you right now, even if the Black athletes are supposed to be the quote unquote stars of the show, that doesn't erase the fact that all of these other non-Black people that they have to deal with are just a bunch of unvarnished racists. And what does it say about anybody who enjoys watching a sport that's infested with individuals like that? Especially if we're talking about sports like tennis or golf, sports where these Black athletes are literally one of only 2 or 3 Black competitors in the entire sport, surrounded by hostile bigots on all sides. Tiger Woods was subjected to all kinds of racial abuse and hostility as he began to take over golf, and he set a new high bar, so high that his white competitors couldn't get over it. And rather than just accept their obsolescence with anything resembling grace, they just show who and what they really were. Fuzzy Zeller wanted to be the one to come out and say what he really thought, not just about Tiger Woods, but about Black people in general.
He's doing quite well. Pretty impressive. The little boy's driving it well. He's putting well. He's doing everything it takes to win. So you know what you guys do when he gets in here? Pat him on the back, say congratulations, enjoy it, and tell him not to serve fried chicken next year. Got it. Collard greens or whatever the hell. Burger and fries.
The sporting public was reviled by Zeller's out-and-out racism, and he was called out, not as much as he should have been. But if he thought that he was going to be getting away with anything or that there would be some groundswell of support for him, he was sadly mistaken. However, he did get support from the white media, who, as usual, use the sports page to push their anti-Black talking points, and then they make excuses for open racism as just being some misunderstandings. That's the purpose of the sports page serves in the white media. It's the place where you can have these white writers go ahead and say what they say. Oh, we're not talking about Black people. We're just talking about this or that Black athlete or this or that sports team. Of course, they know exactly what they're doing, and that's the entire point. You're supposed to know it. This is how white supremacy thinks it's being clever. Now, as far as Tiger Woods and the Fuzzy Zeller controversy goes, at first, he did the right thing. He let Fuzzy Zeller swing in the wind and get beat like a piñata. And I remember a number of white sports radio and TV hosts who were whining about that as if Tiger Woods had some sort of responsibility to come to Fuzzy Zeller's defense or to say, oh, he's not as bad as all that. But he didn't, and as the pressure mounted on Fuzzy Zeller and he found himself basically sinking in his own quicksand, he was eventually reduced to begging to get Tiger Woods to have an audience with him so he could quote-unquote apologize. Woods eventually allowed Zeller to grovel before him, but rather than press his advantage, Tiger Woods instead wanted to go along with the get-along, and that's when he began identifying himself as Cablasian. Yeah, in the face of open anti-Black hostility, what does Tiger Woods do? He tries to deracialize himself, to deracinate himself. Cablasian indeed, a phony made-up word that he cooked up in his pathetic attempt to try to say, I'm not Black. Tiger Woods' racial schizophrenia would only get worse from there. And of course, in tennis, we see the exact same white racism on full display. The Williams sisters overcame a ton of open racism against them and from opponents, tennis officials, the white media, and of course, racist spectators at their games. There were people in the stands even going so far as to threaten their father. This is what was going on when these two young women were ascending in the world of women's tennis. Their opponents made a point to ridicule them, especially Serena Williams, and they did so in ways that they would never ever do to a white opponent. And the white media, they bent over backwards and twisted themselves into knots, trying to minimize that as just being the normal joviality of tennis. Why, these guys, they always poke a little bit of fun at each other. They're kind of silly from time to time, except what they were doing with Serena Williams wasn't silly. It was deliberately racist, and that was the entire point. Nonetheless, Serena Williams persevered. But clearly, at least Serena Williams had a large part of herself that desperately wanted validation from the very people who were humiliating her. She would go on to marry the founder of Reddit, which was one of the main places that was spreading those anti-Black memes about her. The memes and white supremacist attacks on Serena mainly originated in places like Reddit. And yet, for some reason, the founder of that website was the guy that she was hot in the pants to marry. It was one of the main places that was disseminating the very talking points that she was getting hit with on a daily basis. When Serena was competing, she was the undisputed #1 women's player in the world, the most dominant women's player tennis had ever seen. And yet the white sponsors and powers that be made it a point to make a blonde white woman the highest paid player. At least for most of Serena Williams' career, that was the case. And they did the most to try to convince the public that this mid-looking, aggressively mediocre blonde whatever was some sort of sex symbol. Well, at least that shows you what the white male sports commentators were thinking about. And this is what white society and certainly the white media considers to be a meritocracy, which of course means a place where they can put their thumb on the scales and just whoever they want to win, that's who the winner is. And even if you beat them, well, we're going to go ahead and make sure they get more money than you, so they're going to be paid as if they're #1 when in fact they're number 5, 6, or don't even rank at all. More recently, there's been not one but 2 incidents in the world of women's tennis that shows these white Eastern European players fully understand that the white American media thinks of them as their favorite competitors, and not the Black Americans who keep beating them. See, even foreigners understand full well the rules of racism. In June of this year, 21-year-old Coco Gauff beat the older Anya Sabalenka, who is from Belarus. The internet says that this woman's 27, but she looks like older than that. Gauff's blonde baby began throwing a tantrum in the middle of the match, yelling at the official, complaining about imaginary unfairness every time she hit the ball out of bounds or into the net.
Got it. Sehr gut.
Gauff won and became the first American to win a French Open in 10 years. And you want to know who the last American was to win a French Open? Serena Williams. White female American tennis players aren't even in contention. Now, the white media loves to heap praise on these blonde foreigners no end, to laud them as being just so perfect. Well, that illusion was broken during the game when Sabalenka began acting out in the middle of the match in front of the whole world. And the lie was killed dead when, after the match, she pouted and huffed to reporters, saying that Coco Gauff didn't beat her, that she had beaten herself by making so many mistakes during the match. And just like with Fuzzy Zeller, this Sabalenka woman thought to herself that surely there was going to be a groundswell of support for her. Well, from the establishment white media, she was right, but from the actual tennis fans, she was dead wrong. Social media got on her behind, and this led to an avalanche of criticism, with the likes of Lisa Leslie and even Stephen Smith having a weigh in on how pathetic Sabalenka's behavior was. But that wasn't even the worst incident of this year. In August, Jelena Ostapenko, who's from Latvia, lost a match to Taylor Townsend at the US Open. Ostapenko then went on to berate Townsend after the match in front of the entire audience, saying that Townsend had no class and no education. If Sabalenka's behavior was childish, Ostapenko's was utterly deplorable. It was a master class in how to have no class. And yet the white media praises them regardless. Sabalenka has been gushed over by ESPN's website just last month as the Women's Player of the Year. This was just last month when they posted this, 5 months after her public meltdown, which, by the way, is the main thing she was known for this entire year. But of course, dealing with the white media, they're the ones who think to themselves they can conjure magic. They decide what's real and what's not real. And if they just decide to themselves, well, this Sabalenka woman, she fits our narrative, so as far as we're concerned, her public temper tantrum doesn't exist. Well, as far as they're concerned, it doesn't. When you read ESPN's puff piece about her, they don't mention her intemperance and immaturity at all. Instead, they paint a pathetic picture of an alternate universe where this crybaby is tennis's sweetheart. They talk about how she made it to the French Open, but they don't mention that she lost at the French Open. And had it been Serena Williams or Coco Gauff or Naomi Osaka or Taylor Townsend who did any of those things, the white media would be all over them. And anytime they wrote a story about them, they'd make sure to mention so-and-so had a meltdown. Oh, can you believe how they acted? Hopefully in the future, they will learn to behave better. And nobody in the white media makes a connection between the behavior of these two loudmouth losers and their being from Eastern Europe. You have a clear, undeniable pattern of behavior in less than 2 months, and the white media didn't even try to pathologize them. Instead, they overlooked their behavior. And in the case of Ostapenko, she's been a walking disgrace to the sport. She's the daughter of a soccer player, and her mother was a coach. What a shame Mama didn't teach her little babushka basic manners. You can see videos on YouTube showing this Ostapenko woman berating her own coaches, yelling at officials, just acting like a spoiled brat. And to see that compilation of her greatest hits, or rather greatest misses, you would have to go and watch it on YouTube because the establishment white media doesn't show any of that at all. Again, this is part of the white media's MO of trying to control the public mind. They don't speak about something and the idea is that it won't exist. So just this summer alone, merely in the world of women's tennis, sports fans have been repeatedly subjected to multiple displays of white athletes who made a total mockery of the game. When they win, they're not graceful, and when they lose, well, they don't even beat themselves. Black players bring out the best in sports and the worst in white privilege. But my problem happens to be that when it comes to black players, too many times, though, they're only too eager to be ha-haing and kikiing with the very white opponents who disrespect them. Now, in the case of Coco Gauff, she's made some public statements dealing with issues of social justice that I do think speak well of her. And that being the case, I don't really have that much critical to say about her on that front. But I am speaking about black sports fans. These are the kind of arenas that are going on. A lot of black folks get enthused about it regardless. Now, sure, we can go ahead and have our giggles at, hey, so-and-so black athlete beat the brakes off of blonde bimbo number 355. And yet how many black folks make it a point to overlook that and praise the game regardless of the deplorable behavior of so many of the white athletes, the white media, and white spectators? And before anyone is silly and tries to say, but the white medias, they gonna retaliate. If you speak up for yourself, they's gonna say you's difficult to arrogance. Hey, stupid. The white media already attacks these black athletes now when it's not trying to ignore them, and it openly praises anyone who attacks these black athletes. So you're a little bit late on that one. Why is it that black people are always living in mortal fear of the white media's disapproval and will endure any amount of abuse and disrespect just to keep the white media from criticizing them even more? They refuse to call these black athletes the #1 players, even though they are. They refuse to give them the endorsement deals that they've earned and refuse to acknowledge that they're the face of the sport. Denying someone their fame, their money, and their credit is no different than attacking them. And that's the reason why I just cannot bring myself to be watching sports, because I don't have the ability to separate the bigotry and the racism that is so endemic to these institutions from the black athletes who are there. The black athletes are about the only honorable thing there, but as far as I'm concerned, that's not enough, especially not when you consider that it's black athletes who make these sports leagues so profitable in the first place. When's the last time you've seen golf have anybody even close to Tiger Woods? One man who made it where golf was actually interesting to young people. Never happened before. And the same thing goes for tennis. Before Serena and Venus Williams came along, the last time anybody was saying anything about women's tennis was Billie Jean King. But I guess it's just a fact that some black folks simply cannot conceive of a life without the diversions and the amusements and the entertainments that the white media puts in front of them. They just can't imagine their lives without it. Well, I can't imagine life without respect. And while you can't force other people to show respect, you can make sure that you don't ignore their disrespect. Sure, you can say that athletes have to work within the narrow confines of a white sports structure. Fair enough. But there's a thin line between trying to navigate a hostile environment and running interference for it. And all too often, we've seen these black athletes cross that line. So I hope this makes people think. This bad habit of making excuses to continue being in spaces that are openly anti-black is across the board. Any other group who was in that situation, they would be trying to find ways to take over those spaces or to create one of their own that doesn't have those issues, which is basically the same thing. There's nothing so precious about any of these things that you love so much that you're going to die without them. But if you walk away, that can deal them a serious blow, Remember, anti-Black racism is a uniting principle of white supremacy. Attacking us is one of the main ways that they get their minds off of fighting each other, and it makes it where they can be around one another long enough to not cut each other's throats. Think about the sports leagues that are hot, the ones that are vital, the ones that get the most money and get the most attention. They're the ones that we are in. Without Black people, all of these sports leagues would be like table tennis or curling. These racists, they know that. And they hate that they need us because they spent centuries desperately trying to convince themselves that they don't. But even they know that if it wasn't for Black people, they wouldn't be watching these sports at all. Black people have more power than we give ourselves credit for. Our problem is that we care about maintaining approval more than we do Black empowerment. And that's what's at the heart of all of this Black folks playing the doormat for everybody else. Some people have no idea what the game is. They claim that it's about sports or having fun cosplaying or being part of some so-called fandom. But is that true? Or is the game being as close to whiteness as possible? Because if that's the game, then you'll always be and be one. I'd like to take a moment to mention some of our contributors: Hildman Gallo, Ikegas Dorset, Brian Walton, Connie Beasley, and Najee95. Salute to them and thank you to everyone for listening, liking, and sharing this message. Black empowerment only exists because of you.
Yep, Professor Black Truth is right on point with everything he said. Khalifa, get off of me. Sorry, this crazy cat keeps jumping on me. Oh, it's Aurora. Y'all see him? Oh no, get off of me. Y'all see him? You see Aurora? Yep. So yeah, sports is racist as American pie. Yeah, it's definitely fixation a lot of us have with it. Like the drama of athletic sports, as Shabaka would say. But yeah, Shabaka would also say we need to start our own leagues. And that's what we have started to do with the XFL, the AFL, and the CFL. So, I mean, and the big three. So we have started to build our own leagues. And like Professor said, if it wasn't for us, they would not watch professional sports because they would be as boring as curling and what else did he say? Whatever other white sport that they watch. So if it wasn't for us, they wouldn't make none of them billions of dollars that they make every year. And we got to realize that we have power in what we watch, what entertainment we consume, and we can either make or break these leagues in this industry. What are your thoughts, Lady Che?
I concur. I just read somewhere that they took Bug's belt,
Whose belt?
the champion.
You talking about our brother Terrence Crawford? What? For what? Oh,
Sent him 300,000.
what?
Excuse me.
I mean, they almost tried to kill him after he had a parade in his own hometown of Omaha. It's crazy. Crazy cats. What in the hell are y'all doing?
But it's one of these forms of that penitentiary
Yeah.
of the move up or something. Now they'll wait like you're they're all in.
Uh-huh. Is that it for your thoughts on this? All right, thank you for that, Lady Che. Yes, call on Lady Che, so we're on mute. All right, so I'll move to the next topic, and that is the Trump policy is permanent, meaning the immigration policy. So 3 minutes of Black empowerment is going to give us an update on that.
What's up, everybody? The Trump administration pauses immigration applications from nationals from 19 countries. I don't have to read the list to know that 9 out of 10 of the immigrants that come from every single one of those countries harbors anti-FBA sentiment. So it's difficult for us to care, whether we like Trump or not. Supporting his immigration policies is probably the best thing for our safety, considering how enthusiastically they are about jumping on the anti-FBA bandwagon when they get here. Protecting ourselves from them must remain a priority. It's not even hatred, it's rationale. Yeah, there's some real riders out there, but not enough. SNAP benefits at risk as states resist Trump immigration data demands. Trump's war on immigration isn't just about the law. It's about protecting white supremacy and taking the weight of freeloading foreigners off the system. He's trying to prepare for harder times that they know is coming with the economy. They're trying to free up jobs for Americans. They already kicked over 800,000 people off SNAP. And the agriculture secretary said that they've identified a lot more fraud. People using dead people's social security numbers and all that kind of stuff. So now they're hunting these immigrants down through the welfare system too. I don't know if you caught it in my last broadcast, but they're also chasing them down through the Social Security Administration as well. And don't forget the elections. Trump started what's called the SAVE program to boost election integrity, and it's some kind of citizenship verification program too. The propaganda arm of white supremacy is trying to downplay the whole thing. The SAVE program is to search for rare instances of alleged non-citizen voters. They think that we don't know that illegal aliens have been voting in our presidential elections. They think we're stupid. Every time you ever hear the Democratic Party talking about protecting voters without identification at the voter polls, they try to make it seem like they're doing it for blacks, but they're doing it for illegal aliens. That way, Fernando Gonzalez can just walk into a local polling place and vote without being questioned. They've been doing it for years, and now Trump is messing it all up for them. They're not going to be able to steal the 2028 election any more than they were able to steal the 2024 elections. I believe the Democratic Party is going to be desperate as hell, especially if they're running that clown Gavin Newsom, which they are. The king of illegals, high gas prices, and unaffordable housing. Family, as you can see, Trump's war on immigration is not a small matter. He's either tossing them out or simply not letting them in. Like I said before, last year they thought they had white support in growing numbers. This year they have no white support and dwindling numbers. Bang, just like that. Every tether and every other anti-Black foreigners' population growth hits a brick wall. Let's see Gavin Newsom try to stand in front of the cameras pretending like he don't need us. He's too smart to be that dumb. Thanks for watching. Please press like and leave a comment. If you want to know when the next video drops, hit the bell icon. If you really like my channel and want to help with the FBA food drive, make sure to hit the Cash App. Peace out.
You're talking about that.
Yeah, shout out to 3 Minutes of Black Empowerment for that awesome update. Yep, so the Trump immigrant policy is permanent. And Newsom, you can also just hang it up. There's no way in hell Black people are going to vote for you after what you pulled in California. You'd be out your mind to vote for Gavin Newsom. After how he did reparations in California, what, 3 years in a row? No. So he needs to sit it down. Nancy Pelosi, your auntie set it down, and you need to follow suit, gruesome Newsom. What are your thoughts, Lady J?
I agree. I'm going to say, even though friends of Black people, since he said no the first time, you know what I mean? Really did say no. He didn't give a good goddamn. It's all about symbols and shutting it down. It's not about reparations.
And what about the Trump immigration policy? What are your thoughts on the Trump immigration policy?
Shit, they got to clean up all the immigrants that got life from every state and the fucking DP. And with what?
Yeah.
I mean, does that mean, to my question, does this vote not count?
Not at the federal level, no.
So who was voting and who wasn't? So that shit's fucking sketch.
The world may never know. All right. So moving along, Lady J has something else to add. Okay, thank you for that, Lady J. Moving along, the next topic is the Somalis. Somalis are going home, y'all. If you ask me, goodbye and good riddance. Especially since a lot of them was using the white supremacist talking points and displaying anti-Black American hatred. And now they're biggity Black. That they're in trouble. Busting democracy now earlier, and they try to bring us up. And it's like, no. Hold your own candle. Hold your own nuts. Starting with ILHAN Omar. ILHAN Omar crumbles on CNN when confronted with Somali fraud scam or scheme. So TD Media Group is going to give us an update on that.
Okay, what's going on, everybody? We are here. We are live. I want to thank you all for joining me today. If you haven't already, please make sure you smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. And most
And make sure you do
importantly,
the same
as
for
I always
Black
beg you guys,
News
please
1
make
and
sure
2.
that you are following me on Telegram at TD Media Group to help circumvent social media censorship and shadow banning. And yes, Saul, I'm early, right? It's early, but I'm here. Oh, I thought you were saying that I'm early. Yeah, I'm early. I started the show 2 minutes earlier than I would have, which is, progress for me because normally I start the show off pretty late when I do go live. But yeah, you're here early too, and I'm glad you're here. And I see everybody else piling on in the stream. So let's get this going, man, because this story concerning all the frauding that's going on in Ilhan Omar's community concerning Somalis and the Feeding Our Future scam. This story isn't going away. It's not going away at all. If anything, it's getting bigger and it's growing worse as more and more information comes out. And, earlier today, Ilhan Omar was on CNN. And when she was asked about, the Feeding Our Future scam, she fumbled badly. She fumbled badly. She was humming and hawing. It was just bad, man. Oh, it was bad. And we're going to get into that right now. But let's start here. I want to do a little bit of review because, like I said in the last live stream, when we spoke on Ilhan Omar and all of this madness that's going on, like I said, where there's smoke, there's an inferno. Remember, I kept saying that concerning Ilhan Omar, where there's smoke, there's an inferno. And in the thumbnail, I asked the question, how much did Ilhan Omar really know? Because there's just so much information out here, man, that just shows that, in my opinion, I believe, I assume she's guilty. It's just my opinion. It's not a statement of fact, YouTube. It's just my opinion. But it just looks horrible for her. You all remember I covered this in the last stream. We're not going to read the article, but I'll just go through the headline really quick. 2 men named in Feeding Our Future fraud investigation donated to Ilhan Omar in 2021. The congresswoman says she recently sent the contribution to food shelves. So she tried to wash her hands of those campaign funds that she had received from Feeding Our Future scammers, right? She tried to wash her hands of it by donating it to, I guess, a greater cause, which is some food shelves, I guess, in her district, right? But that doesn't wash your hands clean of it, right? If anything, that sounds like, you know, kind of a form of money laundering, doesn't it? You know, you receive dirty money and then you wash it through putting it, then you wash it by putting it through something legit. That's what this looks like to me, quite honestly, if you ask me, you know, but it doesn't stop here. It doesn't stop here. Many of you all remember this too. I covered this also. Boom. Former enforcer for ILHAN Omar pleads guilty in Feeding Our Future fraud scheme. Once again, where there's smoke, there's an inferno. You're receiving campaign donations from these guys. One of your quote enforcers went down, found guilty. The gentleman that you see here on the screen right there, that's who you're connected to. And most importantly, I have to establish this before I play this clip. ILHAN Omar was a promoter of the Safari restaurant, right? Out there in Minnesota. And what's the significance of that? You see here, this is the Safari Somali restaurant out there. It's closed down now because the owners are in jail. But let me just read this to you guys for a moment before I show you guys the video proof, right? That ILHAN Omar was actively promoting this restaurant in the midst of all of this frauding and scamming going on. Safari restaurant. Its owners included Salim Saeed and Abdul Qadir Nur Salah was enrolled as a food site, right? It was enrolled as a food site under the Feeding Our Future nonprofit in 2020. The restaurant claimed to serve thousands of meals a day during the C-19 pandemic. For example, Saeed testified the site served 5,000 meals a day. Prosecutors say those meal counts were massively inflated or entirely fictitious. Safari proclaimed to have over 2020 and November of 2021, many of which were never delivered. Beyond just misreporting, Safari Restaurant also acted as a hub. Other restaurant sites in the scheme reportedly submitted paperwork or meal claims through Safari's business headquarters with instructions from Saeed and others. And that's why this place is so critical, which is now closed down, the Safari Somali cuisine restaurant. This place essentially was the hub of the entire Feeding Our Future scam, okay? This was the root, it was the foundation from which all the other scams essentially began to sprout out of. And this is also a place that ILHAN Omar actively promoted. And with that, let's get into this video clip now. Allow me a moment to pull this up. Watch this.
أنت سفاري aan soo gaarnay sida dadka badan ay u og yihiin ciyaalkeena yaryar ilaa iyo number la eg 20 milyan oo ciyaal iskooley waxay cuntadooda ka helaan iskoolka kaliyo marka waxaan fursad u helnay in aan sharci soo gudbino oo la dhahayo Meals Act oo u fududeynayo in waqtigaanay pandemic aan ku jirno oo dhalinyarada iskoolka aynan joogin oo guryahooda ay joogaan aynan gaajoonin oo familkoodii wili ay fursad u helaan in cunto ay helaan oo meelo qaarkood laga qaybinayo ay cuntada ka soo.
Just 30 more seconds. This is 2 minutes long, but I'm going to give you guys this nails on the chalkboard for at least a good 30 more seconds, okay? That's just how much I love you.
qaadan karaan marka aadan ugu mahadcelinayaa Safari in ay tahay meelaha city oo diyaarinayo cunto maalin kasto dhalinyarada ciyaalkii iyo familkoodina ku taakuleynaayo cuntada city maalintii kaliyo Safari waxay ay cunto siisaa 2,300 oo ciyaal iyo familkooda. Taas waa mid muhiim ah. And
Okay. I think we can stop there. Okay. I think we can stop there. But I'm going to keep saying it, man. Where there's smoke, there's an inferno. You're receiving campaign dollars from these people. One of your, quote, enforcers that was very close to you on the campaign trail with you got found guilty, or he pled guilty, I should say. This safari restaurant, once again, was the foundation of this entire, what has now grown to become a $1 billion scam. And we have you here in 4K promoting it in 4K, like you're here, right? What did Cat Williams say in the clip that people like to play? Ninja, do you know that we can see you? We can see you. You're right here. Serving up, I don't know, fake meals going to nobody. Because that's what this stuff was all about.
Lady Che has something to add about this. Go ahead, Lady Che.
I said, keep in mind, remember? She was telling Somalis how to avoid height.
Mm-hmm.
You remember she got in trouble for that too?
Yep. ILHAN OMAR just keep putting her foot deeper in her mouth.
And then she came out here and then fucking jumped onto the Democratic fundraiser.
Yep.
All while she was getting in trouble.
Mm-hmm. I remember. I wonder what. Well, he's in Africa now. But I wonder what he's gonna say when he returns and his girl gets deported.
Yeah, the Democratic money to spend.
Mm-hmm. Cruz in the building. He posted some article. Citizen requirements, millions Americans, new bill, Arena, no dual citizenship bill introduced. Okay, I'm gonna check this article out, crew. Thank you for sharing that. I'm gonna go back to the video. I'm pulling that article up.
As far as this scamming is concerned, man. And it doesn't end here. It doesn't end here, man, because like I was saying in the last live stream concerning this, interesting how all of the major figureheads in Minnesota's body politic are tied to this in some way, shape, form, or fashion. At this point, either they're accused of, covering it up and actively promoting this stuff, while now pretending to act like they don't know what's going on and they don't know why this happened. So with that, let me play the CNN clip from ILHAN OMAR when she was asked about this. She was asked by CNN and pressed on this scam, and she just started and the C19 and check this out for yourself. Look at this clip here.
The fraud got so out of control in Minnesota?
I think what happened is that, when you have these kind of new programs that are designed to help people, you're oftentimes relying on third parties to be able to facilitate. And I just think that a lot of the COVID programs that were set up, they were set up so quickly that a lot of the guardrails did not get created.
I wasn't keeping count. How many times did she say, let's listen to that one more time, because I wasn't keeping count. That was a lot of exactly. Let's hear that again.
Can you shed any light on why the fraud got so out of control
Keep
in
counting
Minnesota?
I think what happened is that, when you have these kind of new programs that are designed to help people, you're oftentimes relying on third parties to be able to facilitate. And I just think that a lot of the COVID programs that were set up, they were set up so quickly that a lot of the guardrails did not get created.
But I counted
A lot
5.
of, you know, a whole lot of,
Did y'all get
a
5
whole
too
lot
in
of
the chat?
corruption.
Put a 5 in the
Many
chat.
of you guys remember when I covered this in the stream I did on this a couple of days ago, because I really want to paint this picture to show you guys how corrupt all these folks are, you know? 6 times. Thank you for keeping count. She said 6 times.
6.
But I really want to paint a
5.
picture, you know, of how corrupt all of these, you know, major political figureheads in Minnesota actually are. Because once again, it's not
Queen got
just Ilhan
5 too.
Omar. Remember this here? Let me pull this video down and pull this article up. I'm not going to read it because I went over this last week, but just as kind of to refresh some of you guys, if you may have forgot. Look at this. Remember, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey could be called to testify in upcoming Feeding Our Future trial. Now, that didn't happen, right? Because the aide of Mayor Frey pled guilty, right? Look at this here. Former Minneapolis mayoral aide and Safari restaurant co-owner both pled guilty in $250 Feeding Our Future fraud scheme. He was possibly going to have to testify against his aide, but he didn't have to do it because his aide pled guilty. You have to ask yourself, how much did this guy know? And was he covering this stuff up?
Definitely.
And as it pertains to Governor Tim Walz, Mr. Tampon Tim, now it looks like he's in a lot of hot water because investigations are beginning and coming underway for him on a federal level concerning his role in a possible cover-up. Many of you know, as I discussed last stream, how many government staffers came out and said they tried to warn Tim Walz, or not they tried to, they did. They warned him about what was happening and all the fraud and all the scamming. And he would respond back essentially by retaliating against them and telling them to essentially shut up. Remember this article here, Minnesota government Walz for massive fraud amid allegations against Somali community. More than 400 current staff members say governors systemically, let me start that over. More than 400 current staff members say governor systemically retaliated against whistleblowers. He didn't want to hear any of it. He didn't want to hear any of this.
Oh, thank you.
Okay?
That's
Not
Chase,
one
Mike.
bit. But now it looks like we're going to find out how true this stuff actually is concerning him retaliating against whistleblowers and making life hard for them if they open their mouth to try to speak out against this. Because as you can see here, Oversight Chair James Comer fires off letter to Governor Tim Walz and Attorney General Keith Ellison. And that guy, Keith Ellison, we're going to get into him after Tim Walz, about Minnesota fraud and potential evidence destruction. Tim Walz might be cooked. Because if they get a hold of the right emails and text messages that prove that this is true, that he systematically retaliated against whistleblowers, he's cooked. Okay? This man is cooked, stir-fried. Let me read a little bit of this here. Allow me a moment to scroll down. This article reads very quickly. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer fired off letters Wednesday to Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and his Attorney General Keith Ellison as part of an investigation first reported by The Post into widespread fraud in state social service program. The committee has serious concerns about how you, as the governor and the Democrat-controlled administration, allowed millions of dollars to be stolen, Comer wrote to Walz on December 3rd. The committee also has concerns that you and your administration were fully aware of this fraud and chose not to act for fear of political retaliation, added the powerful Republican chairman. And he has a point when he says that possibly Tim Walz didn't respond out of fear. Because who do we know that clearly was retaliated against when he had the audacity to speak out against the Democrat Party concerning the migrant crisis. Our man, Eric Adams. Former New York Mayor Eric Adams. When he had the audacity to step out of line and lay the proper blame of the migrant crisis at the feet of Biden and Harris, oh, he paid the price. They dragged him through the mud publicly, day after day after day. The feds were all in his business, cracking down on all his associates until eventually the indictment came down and he was hit with federal charges. Now, we all know that that was, you know, snapped away and into dust like Thanos once Trump got into office, you know, because he knew what it was. He knew it was retaliation. He knew those charges were nonsense and bogus. Trump did the right thing and got those charges thrown out. But, you know, once again, when you consider what we saw happen to Eric Adams and how viciously the DNC turned on him, yeah, I can definitely see Tim Walz not wanting to say anything out of sheer fear. And also possibly, you know, he might have been getting cut in on something, a little something. And why do I say that? I want to show you guys why I say that. Let me show you guys why I say I think maybe Tim Walz might have been getting a little something on the side. In my opinion, I assume. And the reason that I say that is this. Let me show you this video clip here. This is extremely interesting. I'll just say that. This is extremely interesting. And of course, I don't have the video queued up. So while I'm queuing up the video, if you guys haven't already, please smash the like button. That's extremely important. Hit that like button. If you're watching me for the first time and you're enjoying the content and the information, please subscribe to the channel and make sure you're following me on Telegram. And also, while I'm pulling this video up, why is it not here? Ooh, that just made me so mad. Matter of fact, I know what to do. Give me just a moment. I should have the Twitter still open. Yeah, can I just download it straight? Of course not. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to pull this down very quickly. Boom. And we're gonna watch it through Twitter. I typically don't like watching videos straight through Twitter. I like to have it pre-uploaded already because the quality of sound is better, but that's okay. So give me just one more second, or 2 or 3 or 4, while I pull this video clip up. All right, here it goes. Look at this. Look at this. Never forget that Tim Walz changed the Minnesota flag to resemble the flag of Somalia. Did you guys know this? I didn't know this. Look at this here.
All right, ready. Whoa, wait a minute. There, that's better. All right, ready.
So when I saw that for the first time, I didn't know what to think of it. And, you know, I read the post and I'm like, okay, he changed it to make it look like Minnesota's flag. And then when you just, you know, just look into it a little bit more, it's just very shocking and bizarre that he would do this. Look at this. Let me pull this down now. Again, let me pull this down. Okay. And go back into those screens via the windows right here. Let me show you guys this, because this is just extremely bizarre, and why I believe that he might possibly have been getting cut in a little bit, something of that money, right? So look at this. So this is the original flag, as you can see here, right? And throughout the course of the centuries at this point, you know, because the original flag, you know, came into existence in 1893, they've always made mild modifications, as you can see here, right on the right side. Scroll down a little bit, you know, from 1893 to 1857. This is how the flag looked, right? Or 1957, I should say. And then 1957 to 1983, the flag looked like this, you know, mild changes, just slightly updating it, you know? And then in 1983, the flag of Minnesota looked like this. Once again, just mild modifications, nothing too crazy. Okay. Well, now the flag looks like this. If you didn't know any better, you would have thought that this was just a flag of a foreign country, because a lot of them look like this. But what's even stranger is that it's not that it just looks like this. It's almost identical to the Somali flag. That is crazy. That is insane. Tim Walz changed Minnesota's state flag from this, essentially, that's how it looked for 100+ years, to this, just so that it could look borderline identical to this, the flag of Somalia. That is wild. That's wild stuff, man. That is wild, wild stuff. So yeah, man, I don't know. I think they might have been cutting him in a little something, something. It might not have just been fear of retaliation from the DNC. I don't know, man. He might have been getting some under the table money.
Well,
just might have been getting some
he
under the
was
table
running for
money.
vice president,
But there is somebody
and it still was the
who wasn't getting under the table money. He was getting upfront money. Okay. And that's Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellis. And we're going to get into that next in closing. But what I was going to say,
like George Floyd, that
I forgot to say, is that if you're not a channel member already, please consider becoming a channel member. If you appreciate the channel, appreciate the work that I do here, the information, and how it can be somewhat entertaining, please become a channel member. Once this stream is over, we're immediately headed into a members live only stream immediately after this public stream is over. So join me over there at the end of this stream. But now let's get into Attorney General Keith Ellis, right? And why do I want to talk about him? This is why. Boom. Minnesota AG Keith Ellison accepted campaign donations from individuals linked to $250 million C-19 fraud scheme. All of these people are corrupt.
Yep.
Every single one of them.
Every single
dirty, rotten, and corrupt. All up and down Minnesota.
Yep.
This is crazy. ILHAN OMAR, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, Minnesota, I was going to say Minnesota Timberwolves, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, and now Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison. You can't make this stuff up, man. Somebody's got to go down. That would just be insane. That in the midst of all of this that we're looking at, like, nobody gets held accountable. Nobody. Let's check this out. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison raked in $10,000 in campaign donations shortly after meeting with individuals linked to a nonprofit that stole $250 million from a federal program meant to feed hungry children during the pandemic.
Wow.
And I quote, "I'm not here because I think it's going to help my reelection," Ellison said during the December 11th, 2021 meeting with two future criminal defendants linked to the Feeding Our Future scandal, according to audio obtained by the Center of the American Experiment. Days later, on December 20th of 2021, Ellison received $10,000 in campaign contributions from individuals linked to Minneapolis nonprofit Feeding Our Future. The records show all of these people are corrupt. If you believe that they're as corrupt as I do, hit the like button. Okay, smash the like button.
Yep.
Now,
smash the like button. Front Line Blacc
recently did an interview where he was asked, would you do anything different? Mind you, he's the Attorney General. And now they're asking him to do a little Monday morning quarterbacking. In hindsight, looking back at all this, with the information you know now and what you knew at the time, would you do anything different? Let's hear what he had to say. Let's hear what he had to say. Check this video clip out next, as once again, we're bringing this stream to an end.
Ask you about the fraud scandal. I mean, because the president's comments seem at least in part fueled by, or he's talking about this fraud scandal that we mentioned earlier involving that charity called Feeding Our Future. The vast majority of these 70 defendants charged in the case were Somali. For perspective, those are nearly 80,000 Somalis in the state. How much, I mean, critics have said that state officials, including you and the governor, did not act fast enough or quickly enough to investigate charges of fraud against the Feeding Our Future, and did little to flag their allegations to federal authorities. I know you said it was the federal government that didn't move fast enough. Is there something you wish you had done differently?
No, we, first of all, the Department of Education denied claims when questionable claims were made about these meals. My office went to court, explained that to the court. A judge actually found the department in contempt for denying claims. So yeah, and we cooperated fully and worked well with the FBI. We're glad that we took the action that we did.
This guy said no. No. This is very reminiscent of when Kamala Harris was asked on The View when she was running for president, you know, what would you do differently from Joe Biden? Would you do anything different? No, I wouldn't do anything different. That wrong answer. You know, okay, Attorney General Keith Ellison, would you do anything different? No. And as a matter of fact, Anderson Cooper said he pawned it off on the federal government. He said the federal government didn't move fast enough. It's your state. They're running a scam through your state. And you're telling me you wouldn't do anything different? But then again, he got his money, right? He got his money, so he's good. He's good. He wasn't worried about it. I think maybe that's quite possibly the reason he was so slow-footed to do anything. And I mean, you know, you don't hear anything about him, you know, giving that campaign money to donations, donating that campaign. You don't hear anything about him donating those campaign funds that he received from those scammers to another nonprofit like ILHAN did. At least ILHAN OMAR tried to clean it up a little bit. When she received donations to her campaign from Feeding Our Future scammers, she at least, when she found out, she was like, hey, you know, things are getting kind of hot. Let me just pass this money along to something that's a little bit more legit. This guy just held on to it. He just put it in his pocket and said, hey, I didn't know. I didn't know, man. I didn't know. But he's a known liar. He's a known liar. Because I want to play this one last clip of him in closing. This guy is a big time liar. You all remember when Trump designated Antifa, right? When Trump designated Antifa as a terrorist organization, right? And then all of a sudden, you had all of these DNC lunatics running around pretending like they don't know what Antifa is, pretending like they never heard of Antifa, pretending like it's an organization that's just doesn't actually exist. It's just some kind of mythological thing that you only hear about online. Remember, that's what they all did? Well, he got caught up in that lie. I want you to look at this clip here. When he was on MSDNC, now known as BS Now, and he was asked about Antifa, you know, and Trump designating them as a terrorist organization. He's going to pretend like he doesn't know anything about Antifa, and Antifa isn't real. You know, Antifa is make-believe, right? That's what he's going to do. But then next to that video clip, you're going to literally see a Twitter post of him, I believe it was back in 2018, holding up an Antifa book, the Antifa like handbook. So check this out here. Look at this. This guy's a liar. They're all liars.
Fact that there is nobody even knows what it is. The first person I ever heard use the word Antifa was Donald J. Trump when he was going on about how there were good people on both sides in Charlottesville. That's the first time I ever heard anyone use the term. So now it's this amorphous thing, and if nobody's really Antifa, then everybody could be. And the reason you can't find them is because they're just that crafty.
You're literally holding up the Antifa anti-fascist handbook. You were holding it up in 2018. And now you're sitting up here in 2025 lying like you never heard of them and you don't know who they are.
So the fact that that there is no, I mean, nobody even knows what it is. The first person I ever heard use the word Antifa was Donald J. Trump when he was going on about how there were good people on both sides at Charlottesville. That's the first time I ever heard anyone use the term. So now it's this amorphous thing. And if nobody's really Antifa, then everybody could be. And the reason you can't find them is because they're just that crafty.
Somebody got to go to jail, man. Come on, man. Somebody has to go to jail. This is ridiculous. The way these people lie, somebody got to go down, man. You can't lie like this, get caught lying like this, and these people just get to walk free every time. They walk free every time. It's really annoying. It's really annoying. But with all that being said, man, that does it for today's stream. Okay, that does it for today's stream. I want to thank you all for joining me today. Please smash the like button on your way out. The members live only stream is going to start immediately after this one.
And please smash the like button for Front Line Blacc News. All right, Lady Che, what are your thoughts on this?
I agree. What's a good take for somebody to go to jail?
In jail without the bail, and then deportation afterward.
Yeah. He's had a busy year. He's had a busy year.
Well, he hasn't even been in office a full year yet.
He's been governor.
Who? Tim Wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, Tampon Tim? Yeah.
He's had a busy year.
Oh, okay.
All gonna come out now. You know, tethers aren't good at hiding shit like that.
No, they're not.
Race and white supremacy.
All right, so we'll keep you updated on this Somali situation. In the meantime, the Somalis are blaming Black Americans for their problems with Trump. Ooh. So Phil's gonna give us an update on that.
They thought they were skate under.
They thought Kamala was gonna get in and they was gonna be scot-free. You know, a lot of them voted for Trump, so I don't know what they were expecting voting for Trump, and he's talking about mass.
Ready to dominate your industry.
So we'll give us an update on this. Why Somalis are now blaming Black Americans for their problems with Trump. That's always our fault.
Yeah, all right, there we go. Thank you for joining us on this tonight. We greatly appreciate it. It is December the 4th, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday, and boy, this week is almost gone already, ladies and gentlemen. So tonight we got to get back into it about the Somalis again. I know. We've been talking about the Somalis all week, but hey, that's what it is. If we got a subject matter, we're gonna make sure to keep talking about it until we get blue in the face, right? As long as it's relevant. So the Somalis, you know, there's some videos out that I've been hearing this on TikTok, and we got to highlight something that's being said about us as Black Americans, right? And then we got to visit a video from about a couple of years ago from a Somali imam, and maybe because what this Somali imam was saying about Black Americans, maybe why Black Americans are like, yeah, we good. We good. Y'all go ahead on and deal with your issues with Trump like you want to deal with them. So we'll get to that tonight. So stay tuned. I hope everybody, you know, like I said, doing good this week. I know a couple of weeks will be the Christmas break for the kids, and so I don't know what y'all gonna do with that. You know, hopefully y'all not trying to get into debt with this Christmas stuff. Don't do that. These corporations don't deserve your money. If you're gonna get them kids something, get them some clothes or shoes, something they need. Don't get them nothing there's some toys or whatever. These corporations don't do that. All right, I'm gonna check in with y'all real quick, just glance, and yeah. You say we Somalian and black now? Yeah, we black now, baby. We black now. It don't matter. It is what it is. All right.
And I'm black, y'all.
And Jasmine Crockett. Yeah, I'm surprised Jasmine Crockett not up there. That's her wheelhouse. You know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead and get started. I won't take too much more of your time. Make sure you download the African Diaspora News Channel app, you know, in the Google Play and Apple App Store. Make sure you do that. It's very get a monthly subscription. That's like supporting us 31 cents a day, ladies and gentlemen. So 31 cents is not much to support the platform on our own app. All right. So this is what I want to do. I want to revisit what is the main issue and problem, what caused the issue and problem. Some people are like, why? What's going on with the Somalis? I don't even know. So let's just revisit this for a second. Let me go to the first video that I want to play. And let's play this one video.
The $1 billion welfare fraud scandal in Minnesota was enabled by DEI. Let me explain. Between 2020 and now, federal prosecutors say that more than $1 billion was stolen from Minnesota's social service programs and funneled to fraudulent nonprofits like Feeding Our Future. These organizations claim services for tens of thousands of children who didn't exist. Instead, taxpayer dollars went to funding luxury houses, high-end cars, jewelry, overseas real estate projects, and worst of all, Al-Shabaab, an Islamist terrorist group in Somalia. Now, new reporting shows that the Minnesota Department of Education officials noticed red flags early. They questioned invoices that made no mathematical sense. They noticed new feeding centers were registered in strip malls that were basically empty. They saw providers claiming to serve more meals than there were children living in entire zip codes. And every time they tried to investigate, they were hit with the same accusation. If you expose this, it's racist. That's because Feeding Our Future was run by American citizens of Somali heritage. When the state began scrutinizing their applications, the organization filed a discrimination complaint with the Minnesota Department of Human Rights and later sued the Department of Education, accusing it of racial bias and discrimination. Feeding Our Future weaponized DEI by telling the Minnesota Department of Education that failing to promptly approve new applicants from minority-owned businesses would result in a lawsuit featuring accusations of racism that would be sprawled across the news. In the post-George Floyd climate, that threat carried enormous political power. So agencies backed off, approvals kept flowing, and the fraud exploded. Most of the people charged in this fraud are a tiny fraction of Minnesota's Somali community, which is now stuck with the stigma created by a small group of offenders and a state government too scared to enforce basic rules. Minnesota is now shutting down programs, launching audits, and trying to rebuild oversight that should never have collapsed in the first place. What happened wasn't just fraud. It was fraud that thrived because people put the desire to prop up diversity, equity, and inclusion over reality. And in the end, the taxpayers and residents of Minnesota are the real losers.
All right, so that's just a recap. $1 billion, and if you looked into it, no, man, you're being racist against me and prove my application. Now, see, you know good and well there were Black Americans trying to do that. They wouldn't have cared nothing about us talking about that some racism. Like, we don't care about you and what you say. We looking into it, right? But the other groups, they can say these things. They get away with it. See, I told y'all, Black Americans can't even scam at that level. We're shut down very early. I mean, Black Americans may be out here on some credit card scamming, and maybe some identity theft schemes, or trying to cash a hot check or a hot cashier's check at the bank. But $1 billion, you can't show me no Black Americans that have schemed $1 billion. They won't let us do it. So the question is to the folks, I'm talking to y'all, why you let them and these other groups get away with so much scheming and crimes? But when it comes to us, you clamp down on us quick. We talk about all them Asian massage parlors, and we know that's 304 trick houses. Everybody know what that is. And they pop up all over the place, and law enforcement, whether it's state, local, or federal, know exactly what's going on. Real story. So a barbershop I used to go to in this little strip mall area, they had one of them little places right there. and I saw it was closed, and I say, hey, bro, what happened over there? I said, oh man, the feds ran in there, Homeland Security ran in there. I said, really? He said, yeah, man, we was out here cutting hair. He said, man, we seen about 10 SUVs just zero in right there, and they jumped out boys, jumped out on them and just start pulling them all out of there. And he said he talked to the owner of that place, a female, and she even knew. She said, you know what? Yeah, I'm about to sell this place because I don't know. I'm getting some information. What information she got, but they say she sold to somebody else, and the place got shut down. Then 2 weeks after that, literally 2 weeks after the feds shut it down, it reopened again. Now tell me anything that Black Americans can do where the feds go shut something down that we doing that's illegal, and 2 weeks later it's back open. The feds will be there the day we turn the key. The feds will be on our head. But foreigners can get away with crimes that we would never be allowed to get away with. So the folks, it's more so them. It's not really the foreigner, it's the folks. Why do you let them get away with scheming and crimes but we can't get away with it? It's not that I want to get away with us to get away with crime. That's not what I'm saying. Why is it you don't enforce the law on them like you enforce it on Black Americans? Are you scared of blowback from those countries? Like, what are you afraid of? Clearly, you're afraid of something with those people. $1 billion, and a lot of it was oversight. They didn't audit things. They didn't look into it. They knew the math was wrong. Listen, I couldn't be the president because you know what? With federal funds, some of y'all in that state going to jail too. Not just them, because you approved it. You knew the math was funny, and you still approved it? No, to me, you in on it. You in on it. You got a bill that this dude fed 6,000 kids every day, and you don't say, wait a minute, ain't no 6,000 kids going over. Nobody, no major restaurant serving 6,000 people a day. And yet this dude's over here talking about he's serving 6,000 meals a day. Approve a payment? Come on now. It's the same thing with the PPP thing. All these banks that was approving that mess, they should be going to jail too. They fill out the application. You're supposed to look through it. You're supposed to see if anything's wrong, cross-check, dot your I's, cross your T's, and if something's wrong, you say, hey, man, I can't prove this because this is not right. So a lot of that fraud that happened with that, the banks, but for nothing. They not. They crashed the whole economy. They just gave them money, talking about they too big to fail. So they let you know. Now, continuing. So you just want to just give a recap of what got the block hot for them. Now, this one video that came across my lap here on TikTok, and I've been seeing a couple of them, but I said, let me single out this one. I want you to listen to what this one young woman said, okay? Just listen to her, y'all. Listen to her.
There's a lot of African Americans, right? They're like so hateful on TikTok. Let me remind you of all the African American. There was a time where police were unaliving a lot of African Americans. But when it comes to the state of Minnesota, the Somali people that you guys spewing so much hate on, let me tell you about what happened during George Floyd. When George Floyd happens, we understood that when you come for one Black man, you're coming for all of us. And we stood by them. We raised our voices. There's no way anybody who were among those protesters can say that Somali people were not among them. We were among them. We raised voices. We chanted Black Lives Matter with our chests open wide. So for y'all to just come at us like that when we supported, that's insane. That's insane. Oh my God. Stop it.
Hold on.
What?
What do you mean hate? I'm gonna play that video again because something I wanna home in on. Ma'am, we had nothing to do with this. Like you talking about hate? What hate? Look, I'm gonna keep it 100. I never even knew what Somalia was. I'm talking about. I'm going back to Port Arthur. When I was raised every day in Port Arthur, Black Americans never discussed no Somalia. The only countries that would be discussed because they were in the news was South Africa, because all the stuff with apartheid, and I would say Ethiopia, because the videos of Sally Struthers, the Christian Children's Fund.
Yeah.
That's the only two countries that I can remember as a kid being discussed. Outside of Ethiopia and South Africa, we didn't discuss no Somalia. Number 3, I didn't know what sort of Somalia was until the early 90s when Black Hawk Down came out, and I seen that movie. I said, Somalia, where's that at? And I said, oh, that's in the African continent? Oh, okay. I said, man, that's the first time I ever heard of Somalia. Okay. Most Black Americans don't even discuss Somalis like that. Some Black Americans still don't know nothing about y'all. Yeah. And if they do see y'all, say, where do people come from? They're just keeping it 100. We don't discuss y'all like that. Okay? I'm just keeping it 100. Now, because we don't discuss y'all like that, how we got time to be hating on you?
Right.
The only reason people talking about you now because y'all people made the block hot for you. Y'all was scheming up there in Minnesota.
Yep.
And then, because this is the thing, Trump up here calling them all kind of names. Trump talking about your country stinks, and Trump says the worst of the worst about y'all. But if a Black American say, man, that's messed up. Man, why y'all stealing? Oh, you hate us. I ain't hear no videos talking about Trump hates you. But what you said up here talking about us being hateful? Hold on, let me put something up. I got something to show y'all. We're gonna take our time too. Let me restart this up.
There's a lot of African Americans, right? They're like so hateful on TikTok. Let me remind you of all the African American. There was a time where police were unaliving a lot of African Americans, but when it comes to the state of Minnesota, the Somali people that you guys spewing so much hate on. Let me tell you about what happened during George Floyd. When George Floyd happened, we understood that when you come for one Black man, you're coming for all of us. And we stood by them. We raised our voices. There's no way anybody who were among those protesters can say that Somali people were not among them. We were among them. We raised voices. We chanted Black Lives Matter with.
Okay, all right. So let's get some understanding. Just so I can understand.
Light bulb head niggas.
You saw a modern day lynching, which the whole world saw this with George Floyd. And anybody who has a heart wanted to get out there and make sure Derek Chauvin was brought to justice. Okay, I say anybody that saw that. Okay.
Exactly.
Black Americans are hateful because we're talking about the scheming and the scamming in the $1 billion. Okay, we're hateful for talking about crime. Your response is, if you talk about it, you hate us. That's the same freaking thing that Black Americans are told by Delineation too. Oh, you hate us. So you hate if you delineate. You hate people. You hate if you talk about crime. Like every time, so we can't say nothing. We gotta stay quiet. You never tell the white people they hating anything. Notice she ain't make a video to the white people.
Right.
They the ones saying some nasty and horrible things about Somali people. They are. And yet you focusing your attention on us. But I got a question about you, young sister. I got a question for you. Hold on. This is one of your imams, okay? In your mosque that I'm about to play. Ask me if this love in this video toward Black Americans. Hold on. Is this love?
Most of the people that we meet, especially African Americans, they don't even know their fathers.
Oh my God.
They don't even know their fathers. It was all of them, or most of them were the product of one night stand. One night stand. They will tell you, I don't know my father. Well, who named you? Whose name are you carrying? Well, my mother chose his name for me. And I don't know. Is that what we want for our ummah? No. كلهم أو معظمهم أبناء الزنا. أبناء الزنا. Why? Because man, he has to give up the seed. And because the marriage will limit them, they will go from one to another to a third.
All right. So the question I have is that a message of love?
Yeah.
Is that a message of love?
No.
That's the question I have. I don't get love from that message. I get white supremacist talking points from that message. None of that is factually accurate.
Right.
The majority of Black Americans know exactly who their parents are. Hold on a second. You know me, I do things at random. Give me a second. Hold on. Let me see if somebody's available. I'm going to call him in real time. Let me see if this brother's available. I hope he answers. Give me a second. I want to just do this in real time. Hopefully he answers.
You know who your dad is?
Just give me a second. Hey Danny, I'm live right now. I got a quick question for you.
Talk to me.
Do you know who your father is?
Yes.
You know his name?
Yes.
Okay, I was just trying to find out because somebody was saying that, you know, Black Americans don't know who their father is. So I wanted to call you on the show just find out if you know who your father was.
Oh, well, that's bad news. I know my father.
Okay. All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you answering that question.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Well, that's one Black American that know their father. Let me see if I can find another Black American. I'm calling my other partner to see if he know his father. Hold on. Let's see if he answers. I'm doing this in real time, y'all. Hold on. Let me see if he answers. Just want to find out. Hopefully he answers. Hey, Satan man, what's up, bro?
Nothing much. Just got to work.
Oh, okay. Hey, let me quick question. I'm live. I got to ask you a question.
Yes.
Do you know who your father is?
Yes.
You know his name?
Yes.
Okay, the only reason I'm asking because that's this Somali mom saying Black Americans don't know who their father is. So I'm just trying to just do some fact checking and see if, you know, other Black Americans know who their father is.
Who said that?
Some Somali imam said that about Black Americans. So I'm just proving that you know, we know who our fathers are. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Well, there was two Black men I just called that know their father. I know who my father is, right? And I can keep calling people, but I'm just proving a point that we know who our father is, right? All of us know. We know the name, location.
Right.
You're quoting a white supremacist talking point, and that has nothing to do with love. That was not love what you said, okay? So, ma'am, if you're gonna talk about some hatred, you need to deal with your own community. Now let's get to more hatred. You want to talk about hatred? When you say I ain't no black, I ain't black. I'm Somali. Now you know good and well what black mean in this country. You know exactly what it means. But you want to other yourself, and you know why you othering yourself, because when you go talk to white folks, you say, hey, I am not black like them. I'm Somali. And I'm different, and I'm more palatable for you to accept, unlike those Black Americans over there, right? I'm better. See, my hair's a little straighter. They're Jareers, and you know the Jareer word basically saying that we got nappy hair in their own language, and they got this straighter hair. So basically, that Jareer word is just saying like you got nappy hair, and it's derogatory. So see, I'm not like the Jareers over there. I'm better. I got better hair. My features isn't as like theirs. I'm not black. Like that. None of that has to do with love. Okay. Right. So if a Black American is talking about a crime for with our tax dollars done by another said community, I think we all can talk about it. Because let me tell you something, when the Black Americans commit crime, everybody talks about Black Americans. Everybody and their mama talk about Black Americans. Oh, look what Jerome and John Tavius did. And we don't be sitting up there saying, oh man, you hate us because you talked about their crime. Like, I don't got nothing to do with that fool. Let him go to jail. That's how we feel about it. We ain't tripping. Why everybody always want to blame us?
Right.
We can't say nothing. Look, if we quiet, we wrong. If we talking, we wrong. If we sitting and we wrong, we standing, we wrong. If we eat at this restaurant, we're wrong. Man, it's like, bro, like why everybody got to always be on our head?
Right.
Why? I'm still trying to figure that part out. What is so special about us that, oh my God, if Black Americans say something, it is the end of the world. If we criticize you, oh my Lord, you know what I'm saying? If we don't fight for you, we hateful. But you know what it is, y'all, let me tell y'all what it is. Other groups expect us to be the servant of all. We're supposed to be the perpetual fighters, the perpetual slaves of all. And because we're not doing that anymore, people trying to play the psychological game with Black Americans and trying to lay accusations of, oh, well, y'all hate us. See, it's two ways they try to get you psychologically. The first is you hate us and try to get you to say, oh, no, I don't feel that way. Oh, no, and try to get us to kind of come back that way. Or they'll overly compliment and say, well, Black Americans, they're right about things. And Black Americans, you are fighters and you made a way for us and all this stuff. And I'm like, why are you saying that now?
Right.
Why you didn't say it a long time ago?
Exactly.
That don't make, we get it, but why now?
Problem.
Oh, I've seen the light. And Black Americans were right about the whole thing. And at the same time, the Somali community did vote in a lot of numbers for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
They voted for Trump, and now Trump a year later wants you out of here.
Huh.
I'm trying to figure that part out. What did y'all now? Oh Lord, somebody just said that they are the Nigerians of the East. Now, okay, okay, all right. Well, let me see if I can respond to that. I was calling what it is in the continent of Africa. When you say Nigerians, just call it what it is. They label it as the scamming with the dudes, the scamming and the scheming, and they always got something going on.
Yep.
Now this person say in East Africa, that's them. Like I said, I don't live there, but the time I have been there, I had not heard a lot of good commentary. That's the only thing I would say. That's why I don't like people immigrating over here and thinking they're better and say, wait a minute, I know you're not talking.
Right.
Not you. You are the Pookie and Ray Ray of Africa. Literally. You need to be quiet.
Right.
You need to be quiet. But listen, we can't allow lying and disrespect. We can't allow that. And that's not hateful. Listen, I'm telling you because I'm giving you tough love. That's what I do here. I give tough love. I ain't got no hatred toward no Somali. Be honest with you, no Somali have never done me nothing personally. Not at all. But when you're lying on us, we got to correct that. We got to correct the record because, listen, lying is dangerous. When you lie, they grow legs. If it's not corrected, it can be labeled with propaganda, and then now some bad things start happening.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody should understand some propaganda, it should be you Somalis.
Right.
I don't think you like when people look at you as warlords and all kind of jihadists. Do you like people looking at you in that way? No. But don't come over here involving Black Americans. Who cares if a Black American says something on TikTok? Do you even know? Can you verify a Black American said that? Now on X, we can now see where the accounts are was registered at. We can see that now. That's great.
Yeah.
I wish all websites would do that. How do you know? That's not somebody from freaking Eastern Europe,
right?
Telling you that. But you always want to put us in it. No, let me play this dude one more time, because like I said, I got to point something out.
Most of the people that we meet, especially African Americans, they don't even know their fathers.
What kind of Black Americans are you meeting? Clearly, you're not meeting Black Americans of any kind of reputation or stature.
Right.
The majority of Black Americans that I know, great people, got jobs, got businesses. They very smart Black people. They're not gonna make a bunch of kids because that gets expensive, right? So what kind of Black people supposedly were you meeting?
Right.
And you're supposed to be an imam. Even if they were in that condition, why aren't you using the principles of Islam to help somebody? Why are you sitting in your mosque telling that about other groups of people and you're not going to do nothing to help them? And what is it is going to edify your Muslim members about that condition? That's the question I have for people like him. You are not following the principles of Islam. You following the principles of the devil. That's number one. You know, I love any kind of spiritual conversation. I love it.
They don't even know their fathers. It was all of them, or most of them, were the product of one night stand.
Right.
Now, this guy said most Black Americans are the product of one night stand. So the majority, let's say like 90% of us out of 43 million people, all of us the product of one night stand. Nobody was married. Nobody was in a boyfriend girlfriend relationship. Everybody was just. Do you know what he's saying about Black American women?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at that. He's saying Black American women are very loose. They're 304s, and a Black man in the community just can meet them, impregnate them, and leave. And we have all these Black women that don't even the children don't know who the father is. To me, that's disgusting, and that lets you know what his perversion is at, because he's perverted. And even if that were true, sir, why aren't you trying to help those people?
Right.
And what do your followers in that mosque gain from you saying that?
Right.
They gain nothing. Somebody just stood up and say, what this got to do with us in Allah? Like, I'm trying to figure that out. Like what this have to do with anything, bro?
Right.
That don't make sense. And you wonder why people get on to some of y'all with your radical Islamic terror, because you take Islam and you justify hatred through Islam.
Yeah.
That's just really what it is. Now, true Islam is not about hatred of people. It's about being peaceful with people. Right. If you read the Quran, right. Look at the Nation of Islam. They practice a true Islam. You never see the Nation of Islam out here warring with people. You never see the Nation of Islam treating people bad. The Nation of Islam have upright men, upright women. They're very disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
They are great brothers and sisters. They believe in health. That is a truer form of Islam. But what is this Islam that you promoting, sir? That's dumb. That's not even factual by any kind of numbers. Like, like that's the thing with religion. It's a recipe for disaster. And you wonder why some of the greatest and bloodiest wars has been wars of religion. That's why. Now let's pick this back up. What this guy said, who's truly preaching hate.
One night stand. They will tell you, I don't know my father. Well, who named you? Whose name are you carrying? Well, my mother chose his name for me. And I don't know. Is that what we want for our ummah? No. كلهم أو معظمهم أبناء الزنا. أبناء الزنا. Why? Because man, he has to give up the seed.
So hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Are you afraid, sir, that Black American men is gonna holler at them Somali women?
Mm-hmm.
And so you in there saying all this BS? Because I caught that part. I caught that.
Yeah.
I think what it is, that some of them Somali women have been trying to choose up on a Black American brother, possibly, and you don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're trying to demonize and say that these Black American men, all they do is just impregnate the women and leave, and you Somali women better watch it, and you Somali men protect your daughters from them Black American men, because they trying to, that's what that, because y'all know jealous dudes from these other groups. These jealous dudes from other groups a lot of times are very, very threatened by Black Americans. If your female is choosing on a Black American brother, she choosing, bro. It is what it is.
Right.
Don't get scared. She choosing. It's her choice at the end of the day. Her body, her choice. So whatever she do is what she want to do. She in America. We not in Mogadishu, bro.
Right.
If a Somali woman want a Black American man, that's what she gonna do. Maybe she don't. Let me be nice. You know, I'm not trying to be disrespectful when I'm about to say this, but maybe she just want her brothers to be dressed and fly. She don't want to do walking around here with. I got to be careful what I'm about to say, because I have a lot of followers who, Let me respect people's religion. I'm just gonna say that she want a brother that's fly. She don't want brothers dressed in a certain manner, possibly. She don't want a dude that maybe she's want her husband to herself. She don't want a husband that's saying I have 3 or 4 wives. Maybe she don't believe in that, bruh. So maybe she's men most of you know, they get one wife, and for what I hear, they love their wives and they very good men. So I want to holler at a Black American man. That's what that is. That's what that is. Yeah, them sandals. And yeah, she want a man not wearing them sandals all doggone. She want to see a man with some fly nice dress shoes or some fly, you know, the kicks or whatever. She don't want to see no sandals. She want to be the one to wear the sandals. She the one want her feet out looking nice, not him too.
Right.
Fighting for the sandals. Is that what it is, my dude? Man, the jealousy is not a good thing, man. Jealousy is not a good thing. Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous, man. That's what that is. Oh, hold on. Natasha down here said, hold on. She says Somali and Ethiopian girls love FBAs in Atlanta. Oh, there it is. She say that the Ethiopians and the Somalis be choosing Atlanta. That's why he probably talking about that. He said, oh, hell no. Them FBA men can't come over here pulling all these Somali women. What we gonna have left? Cause see, let me tell you what's gonna happen. If one of them Somali women get with a FBA brother and he gonna teach her the game, you're not gonna be able to tell her nothing no more.
Yeah.
You better do like I better do nothing. And put on some deodorant because I don't know what that I've discovered something and y'all don't be smelling too nice, some of y'all. I ain't putting up with that. Yeah, look. Oh, you got around these Americans and now you're feminist. Like, no, I'm not feminist. I just seen a different light now. I'm not putting up with that. I didn't even know they got a certain section of Somali women just find out about that. They like, nah, I ain't down no Islam and all that stuff no more. I'm cool. Okay. I said, I'm Somali, but I ain't with all that no more. I said, oh, okay. Okay, so they got a lot going on in their community. So, but it always circles back to us. Like we ain't got nothing to do with it. Like, why y'all ain't putting us in it? Jesus, man. God. Oh, now see, what's his name? Pappy Poppy Derrick. You're wrong. Now he's talking about he's talking about the teeth and I guess some sort of buck teeth or something to that effect. Look, I'm not trying to go there about people's teeth, okay? Listen, we got to think higher than that, okay, Derek? Think higher. We can't be talking about people's teeth on here. We got to keep it educational, man. Can't be listen. If they like their teeth, I love it, okay? As long as my teeth don't look that way, as long as my teeth don't look like Roger Rabbit, I'm cool. That's all I got to focus on is my teeth, okay? But maybe some of the Somali women choose on some brothers that got their teeth, looking good and their teeth straight and all of that. She's like, you know what? I'm liking that. I'm feeling that. Could be. Because beyond with you, a lot of issues that other groups have with us, it's because us as Black men. Let's call it what it is. It's not, they don't want, listen, the Asian men be tripping on Black men, Hispanic men, all the different men be like, y'all, we not even in y'all. Like I say, but if we got one of y'all women choosing on the brother, she choosing. And if he thinks she look good, he gonna holler. I mean, like, come on. It is what it is. Don't hate the players. You gotta hate the game. Mm-hmm. Now, you say don't reset them too hard. Hey, look. I just gotta call it what it is. Don't be sitting up here talking bad about us like that, man. It's like that, but it circles back to jealousy. Now, getting back to old girl, talking about hatefulness. Okay, so it's clear that the hatefulness is coming from some people in their community. Okay, calling us Jareers, that's hateful. Mm-hmm. So when Black America is basically not coming to your rescue, like that's basically what she's complaining about in so many words. Yeah. We was out there for George Floyd. Why y'all not standing up for us with Trump? No. When we delineated, ma'am, that's what that meant. Everybody is on their own. So all y'all naked out here. Y'all don't have no covering no more. So y'all had a covering for years. Something happens that, see, let's say I'm gonna say maybe even 5 years ago. If this same thing would have happened, let's say Trump first term, Black Americans have been out there. Oh, hell no, Trump, you're not gonna be talking about them like this and be going battling Trump. But now you fast forward after 2024, delineation started. Now y'all naked out here. And you upset. Hey, some of y'all was getting jazzy at the mouth, talking about y'all successful, y'all this, y'all that. Like, well, maybe you successfully scheme better than us. And hey, I mean, you winning the crown on the scheming. But, you know, it is what it is. But like I said, it's not all Somali people. It's not all Somali people. It's not all Somali people. And I want to reiterate that. It's not all Somali people. It's some of them, though. And we got to address the some. And we're going to. Now, one person earlier say, when I talked about the young lady, oh, she ain't my sister. Well, look, it's how I look at it. People of African descent, Caribbean descent, you know, in the greater scheme of things, look, I look at it, it's a diaspora. So I say sister or brother to one of them. I would. That's how I am. I talk that way. Now, if you're being evil, I won't call you a sister or brother. I won't. I'm like, hey, you a devil. I'll clearly say that. All right. And if I met her, I'll say, sister, look, you're wrong. You're wrong for that. I'm gonna let you know that. I gotta tell you, you know. But if you get your act together and you learn from your ways, you know, I'm a one that believe in a path of redemption for Black folk. I believe in that. All Africans or Caribbeans, I believe in a path of redemption because I needed redemption myself. And who am I not to give redemption to somebody? Because as you forgive, God forgives you. So I'm also got to think about that. That's how I look at things. Now, some of you may be like, I don't forgive, and that's showing your business. That's your life, your soul. I just know what happens when you don't be in that mindset, right? But if somebody do some evil things, and I don't have, I'm like, hey, man, that's on you. I'm staying over there with that. You understand? So, like I said, I've talked with people that's Somali. I've even the young sister Marianne I've interviewed a couple of times. She's Somali on this platform. So, like I said, it's not all Somalis are bad. And unlike the imam over there, I'm not labeling all Somalis. I'm saying the ones who's doing it, the ones who is scheming, the ones who are saying Jareer, the ones who feel this way about Black Americans. If you don't feel that way about Black Americans, man, you cool with you. We straight. You support Black Americans. You support us getting reparations. You know, you'll lend your fight to get reparations. Then, hey, it's cool. Because I tell all Black immigrants something. The way America works is trickle down for you. What I mean by is this. Just like trickle down happened with civil rights and voting rights and immigration, you benefited off of that, off of our fight. Then if we get reparations, that's going to trickle down for benefits for y'all too. Because we get reparations, then definitely Caribbean immigrants, you'll be able to get reparations from France and Britain and all the different places, the African continent, be able to get reparations. All we got to do is get it first. If you were smart, you'll support Black Americans with the fight of reparations so y'all can get y'all reparations. Because once we get ours and you fighting for yours, I'll be the main one saying, hey, the Caribbean need their reparations. They went through slavery. They need their reparations for sure. Slavery in the Caribbean was brutal.
Right.
For sure, they need their reparations. But we got to fight and get ours first. Don't stand in the way of it. Support it. Support us.
Right.
Just like we have always supported. Listen, when the apartheid government was just waging hell on Black people, we in Black America supported Nelson Mandela, Steve Biko, and lending our political capital and our legal arm to try to help out our brothers and sisters in South Africa.
Yep.
We always stand on the side of justice. We always have. Yep. Only thing we're saying is, okay, now it's y'all turn to stand with us in this fight with reparations. Mm-hmm. And then in turn, we see you do that. Then we say, okay, let's help y'all fight on y'all end. It's called reciprocal relationship.
Right.
That's how relationship work. We support each other.
All right, I'm going to end it here.
Well, you said they don't see it like that. So
all right. So what are your thoughts, Lady Che?
I think everybody needs to go through their own goddamn mouth.
Right.
We're doing, but they're smart. They've been took notes a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
They're having this discussion and then trying to impede or hinder the process by saying no, we don't, and giving us all this work. Now it's too late. Redemption.
Redemption song.
Talking about after the war, how will you were to participate in what we're doing
Right.
without getting in our way. But these are all short term things because the moment whites come to get their hands up, it's like the eye bucket, yes.
Mhm. Yeah.
But Black Americans like they usually.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't put
The
it
hell
out
with those Akanas and Jarreras.
really quick to stop because they're not really invested in our plight.
Mm-hmm.
Or 450 plus year follow Black or anything that we got going on. They only want to benefit with an incentive from white supremacy. And right now, white supremacists get ready to sit there. We don't know how they're going to turn that around.
Right. So
And
you
that
said
white spokesman, the governor, he really isn't going to do all that either.
I had a couple of Somalis I was cool with back in high school. I think they went. One of them went to prison on some scam and shit. So that's what they do. That's part of their culture. And white supremacy is putting the hammer down. Y'all can hold your own nuts. Not caping for you. The cape been off for 6 years. I'm sorry you didn't get the memo. All right, so moving along, Delineation has made the Asian community assess their relationship with Black America. So I'm going to give us an update on that as well.
Now, once again, everyone, including the Asian community, Americans. Why? Why is everybody? Now, once again, everyone, including the Asian community, is out here assessing the relationship with Black Americans. Why? Why does everybody want to assess that relationship all of a sudden? It's amazing how a little bit more than a year into very strict delineation, everybody's just trying to recap and figure out what the problems are. I don't get it. I don't get it because everybody, felt that they was better off and we were lazy and all of that, right? So I want you to hear what this young Asian woman has to say, and it's definitely nothing against her, but I just want you to hear her, trying to explain about her community.
I've seen a few comments like this with, Asians and Black people fighting in my comment section. And honestly, it shows how little we actually talk about the history behind all of this. The tension didn't just magically appear. It was shaped by decades of laws, segregation, stereotypes, and political narratives that pushed our communities apart. When Asian immigrants first came to the US, they weren't allowed to live just anywhere. Segregation forced them into Black and brown neighborhoods because those were the only areas open to anyone who wasn't white. So Asians and Black Americans were physically close, but not always connected. Different languages, different histories, limited communication, misunderstandings grew out of that. Then in the 1960s, during the Civil Rights Movement, the US created the model minority myth, the idea that Asian Americans were successful, quiet, and proof that racism doesn't exist. That stereotype was never meant to lift Asians up. It was meant to contrast Asians against Black Americans and basically say, see, they're doing fine, why can't you? It was a political tool that built resentment and pressure on both sides, even though neither community created that narrative. At the same time, anti-Blackness already existed in some Asian cultures because of colonialism, colorism, and Western media influence. And for some Black Americans, their only interactions with Asians were through local businesses, corner stores, nail salons, restaurants, situations that were transactional, not relational. That created frustration and stereotypes on both sides. But here's the thing. In both communities, it's only a small handful of people who are actually hateful or racist. A few loud, ignorant individuals do not represent millions of us. We can't let the worst examples define entire communities. Then COVID hit and all of this got amplified again. Anti-Asian hate skyrocketed. Elderly Asians were attacked, harassed, and blamed for the virus, all because of fear and political scapegoating. Some of the viral videos showed attackers who were Black, and suddenly that tiny number of incidents turned into a whole narrative online like Black people hate Asians, which was inaccurate and unfair. What people forget is that Black activists and Black organizations publicly stood with Asian communities during that time. People protested for us. They protected Asian elders. They spoke out against the hate. But the media rarely highlighted the solidarity, only the violence. And yes, some Asians responded by generalizing those incidents and blaming the entire Black community, which made things even worse, even though the majority of Black people had nothing to do with those attacks. COVID didn't create new racism. It exposed what was already unaddressed and made stereotypes louder because everyone was scared and hurting. But amid all of that, we forget that historically there has also been real solidarity. Asian American activists learned organizing strategies from Black civil rights leaders. Filipino and Black farm workers united under Larry Leong and Cesar Chavez. Japanese American activists stood with the Black Panthers. Yuri Kochiyama worked alongside Malcolm X. In Oakland, Black and Asian communities built programs together to fight poverty and injustice. These are real alliances. They just don't get talked about as much as the conflicts. That's why we need to zoom out. Like, a handful of ignorant people shouldn't define entire communities. A bad experience shouldn't turn into a stereotype. We shouldn't let old narratives and old wounds be recycled and divide us again. Asians and Black people have both faced discrimination, exclusion, violence, and being treated like outsiders. We have more in common than we think, and when we work together, there's real power, real healing, and real progress. We just have to stop letting fear, stereotypes, and misinformation talk louder than the history and solidarity we actually come from.
Well, young lady, let me say something, right? And I'm a type of person, I don't have no issues with no group of people. I don't. But I am a student of history, and I do believe in calling things right what it is. Realistically, you may be a person that's cool. Maybe some people that in your community think just like you and want to be cool, but here's the problem. You mentioned the model minority myth. White folks put that out there, but a lot of the people in your community took that name as a badge of honor. They took that name as a badge of honor to say, you see, well, look, we are the model minority, and we're not like Black Americans that's always trying to get things stirred up. But what we were stirring up was actually for, human rights, right? So your community took that badge and wore it like honor.
Yeah.
Then now you fast forward to today, it's not really a good name because it kind of showed that you went along with white supremacy. That's number one. Number two, yes, there were Asian people that fought for civil rights and human rights. Yes, but let's call it what it is. They were individuals. It wasn't the whole community. If we had the whole community, or even half, 80% of the community, even more, fight for human rights, civil rights alongside Black people, it wouldn't be no discussion. But you know good and well that did not happen. Right. So these were a minority of Asians, right? There's always going to be a minority of other groups that's going to stand for what's right. But the tensions a lot of times came when the white people put y'all in the Black neighborhoods. And then what they were doing when a lot of y'all came in through different wars and stuff like that, so like the Vietnam War or Korean War, different places like that, they gave y'all loans to open up businesses in Black communities where Black communities couldn't even get a business themselves.
Yep.
They did that with every immigrant group, whether it's the East Indians, whether it's Arab groups. They got businesses in the Black communities, and Black communities came and have business there themselves, and you're being funded by the U.S. government. That created tension too.
Yep.
Then some of y'all, we know there is a division within the Asian community. So you have the dark-skinned Asians, you know what I'm saying, like your Cambodians, your Filipinos and people like that. You have your darker-skinned Asians versus your whiter-looking Asians, right? Like the Japanese, etc. I know y'all got a major divide in there. I know that the darker-skinned Asians are heavily discriminated against. So y'all got those issues going on too within your community. So if you got that going on, you think it don't carry over to Black folk? So if them lighter-skinned Asians that don't like the darker-skinned Asians, they don't like Black people either. So you have that issue also going on. And East Indians is considered Asians.
Yeah.
And you know how some of them feel about Black folks. And the crazy part is they the same color as Black folks. That's crazy. But they discriminatory even in their own country, because you got some Indians that's darker than me, and they can't stand them. So y'all have a lot of issues going on with your community, but in relation to us, y'all talking about tensions. There's no tension. I want to make that perfectly clear. Black Americans have no tension with Asians. You know why you have no tension with Asians? Because we're not worried what Asians got going on. We're not in your business. We're not in that. So there's no tension. Which y'all have to understand that Black people, Black Americans in particular, have delineated. And with delineation, has actually brought peace, because we're not dealing with tensions with no other communities that way. We like, hey man, y'all do what y'all doing. God bless y'all. Hope y'all fix that. But we worry about Black America and what we're doing here in America. You understand? Because we have neglected Black America for so long. We have neglected our children. We've neglected our businesses. We've neglected our careers. We've neglected our way of life. We're now gatekeeping our culture, what we should have been doing for a very long time. We're not giving just free tickets to the cookout no more because delineation is here. And because of delineation, it's the main reason why y'all are assessing the relationship you can have with Black folk. Because I guess some of y'all thought we'll always be around, and now you're not seeing Black folks, or I'm gonna say you see us, but we're not really trying to interact like that. We were more centering ourselves. We're trying to find more Black-owned businesses to go shop with, Black-owned restaurants to go eat with. It's nothing against other groups of people. No, it's no. If we want some Asian food, we have no problem going and get it. But what I'm saying is, since we have delineated, you know, and a lot of sisters are opening their eyes about how they've been treated in these these nail salons, how they've been treated in some of these beauty shops. A lot of sisters have been boycotting that too. And then now y'all trying to give major discounts to get Black women back in these shops because these beauty supply stores, that y'all know your main customer is Black women. And I don't understand why y'all should have been the biggest friend of Black people for that alone.
Right.
But it's also, you know, talk about how, especially the Koreans, how they always blocked out Black women from getting in the business, doing dirty things to stop their supply. The moment we delineate, all your business is done because white women not coming to your beauty supply stores. They're not. That's what Black women do. You get all these billions of dollars a year from Black women. And what a lot of Black women are saying, hey, we're going to open up our own. We're going to shop with our own. We're going to keep the money circling in the Black community. Like that's all the reason why a lot of y'all are assessing this now. Because people money getting touched now. Yeah. I'm not saying her money in particular, but we're talking about just some of the money being touched. Delineation is hitting pockets. And that's good. You know why that's good? Because because when you make people respect you and don't just willy-nilly give them your money, they got to come correct. They got to. The folks too. They got to. Don't you think the folks didn't like what happened on Black Friday? The folks didn't like that. It wasn't the white community talking about boycott Black Friday. It was us saying, hey, man, these people firing us from jobs for no reason. We ain't got no money. Might well don't be shopping with these people. They don't like that. No other groups are leading the charge like that. Economic boycotts is the best boycott you can ever do. You commit no crime. They can't tase you. They can't shoot you with rubber bullets. They can't pepper spray you. They can't put you in jail. You are boycotting from the comfort of your home. The best thing ever you can do. And Dr. King showed us a long time ago that economic boycotts is the way to go. So we good. We don't have no tensions. We really don't. Because we don't even interact like that. Most Black Americans do not interact like that unless you go to a store. We're not flooding H Mart. We're not doing that. So, yeah, y'all can fix. Now, I would suggest y'all do fix the anti-Black racism in your community. I do suggest that, and maybe we can come to the table. You know, when y'all serious about it, I guess. But until then, fix your issues. Fix your internal issues first before you even come this way, because y'all got your own colorism going on within the Asian community. Yeah, leave us out of that one. We got to fix our own stuff. But I want y'all to see delineation is making everybody assess the relationship between them and Black America.
That's right, Uncle Phil. So hold your own wonton. Shout out to our
peace, love, and reparations. Welcome to Black Star TV 2.0. It's your boy Black Star. What's going on, family? Make sure you
shout out to Michael Pan. No, he is definitely showing he's an ally and advocating for our reparations. So salute to him.
And the Asians that he
Yeah, he been checking his own people, so shout out to him. What are your thoughts, Lady Che?
I agree. I don't know if any of these locals are talking about. It's too late now, though. Black America is on the couch somewhere. Black vacation finally.
Yeah, finally. After 3 years of you telling us to go on Black vacation. All right, so we're down to the last topic because I'm pressed for time now, and that is this clown by the name of Ankh, this Pan Goofy, who was on Dr. Maat's show and seems to be on her show a lot as of late. And he thought that he was going to try to check FBA. He got schooled, he got cooked, and he lost. And the grimeyness within the grassroots. So our brother Black Star TV gonna give us an update on that. And shout out to Sincere Love to God and Dewan B for checking these clowns yesterday.
Come in, hit that subscribe button, that like button, and share this to every platform that you can. Family, listen, I want to talk about Dr. Mayat in this live stream she did with Professor Smalls, Ankh, and this other brother. Now, I'm not going to play the Professor Smalls part because if you follow me, you probably followed other people who did breakdowns on that. But I want to talk about how, you know, people do things for you and put you in position to elevate your brand even higher than you already had did it. And then how people could just come and allow people to talk down and disrespectful about a person who did nothing to you personally. You feel me? You might disagree with the things he say, but to allow people to come on your platform and dog him, because I defended her first time. I was arguing about doing that, coming on her platform and, you know, just being disrespectful about Tariq and, you know, just putting her under the gun like that. But see, now I see that, again, this is orchestrated. I'm going to play this and we're going to break it down.
We got a lot of healing to do because the dear elder sat here and poured out his heart
only to be attacked in the chat. And I saw it.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I saw it.
So
And Doc, it was sickening. It's sickening. Go ahead.
And I'm with like, I'm more of a Kamayu warrior. I'm quiet, believe it or not. I'm quiet. But look, hands off.
Yeah,
look,
hands off, Professor.
Get your
Small.
mind right. I mean, some of these brothers and sisters I know, and I understand hurt and trauma when I see it. You are so upset. You are so upset at this white man. You are so upset at the oppressive system that you don't know what to do. So now you have to turn on your own people.
No, we're not turning on our own people. One thing that these Pan-Africans like to do, they never like to say that we were sold. I noticed that from Dr. Mayat. She loves to say that we were kidnapped. No, we weren't kidnapped. We were sold by these Africans, right? And I want to say this, because I posted this. What's the point of working with these people if they have all the resources? They have trillions of dollars sitting that they just walking on. They don't share it with us at all. They share it with the Chinese, the Arab, and the white man. So what is the point of working with someone who is not going to ever bring anything to the table? They don't. Y'all don't speak on them calling the cicadas, Ears and bees, whatever. Yankees, y'all don't speak on none of that. And you Pan-Africans know that there ain't an African country that's going to give us some of their resources. There's none. So what is the point of building with people who you can't build, who can't come off the resources that got it?
You have to turn on people that you believe that you have more strength than.
Yes,
and you don't. Because somewhere
if we didn't have more strength than them, they wouldn't be coming over here. We're not going over there like that. No. No. They couldn't fight. They're the majority over there. And they have access to none of the resources, nigga. None.
The line, you are imploding inside. It is indicative of the hurt and pain and anger you have inside of you. And I feel for you. Because the things you're saying out of your mouth, if you want to psychoanalyze it, it tells you the hurt and pain. And your leader who speaks for you, I get it. Your leader, you can deny leader because he said he's not a leader. I'm sorry. The problem is at least you can't argue he's a thought leader for the very frame that you call FBA. And I personally would never, ever, ever.
See, the fact that she's allowing him to say he's a leader with no kickback and pushback, it's orchestrated.
I mean, maybe I've even considered and rolled around in my mind FBA, but I would not call myself an FBA, at least not at this time, with all that ideological underpinnings of Nasheedism.
See? Oh, that's a shot. See, that's
When
a
you
shot.
said that stupid shit, I was like, what?
Oh, that's a
My
shot.
mind
See, you
just
ain't
sitting up
saying
there
nothing. Allowing
co-signing this
I feel for
bullshit.
him too.
Jabs.
He's my brother, but he's sick.
The panty clowns.
And his sickness is being carried out
He said
in every troll in this chat.
See? And now they trying
like
to
in
blame Tariq
Crumblesism,
for the people in the chat, and you ain't giving no pushback to a
None.
person.
Non-black.
Literally-
I'm glad you pointed that.
Literally
Notice that
uplifted your
too.
brand.
I'm like, she didn't give him no pushback.
And they said, what some people say, where did they get it from? You get it from him because I can't even listen to the brother. But someone sent me a video the other day, and I watched the video, and I heard where they get their idiotic talking points from. I hear where they get their misinformation from. But I understand
Democratic shit.
that we need somebody to represent us. That we
See, they always say that they're misinformation. You ain't saying what the information is, though.
Right.
say is not the leader. We even like that because we've been so hurt. We don't want leadership.
Oh my God.
We've been so hurt. We don't need no leader because
he pressing his leader
Lead
issue
yourself,
too.
Nigga.
You see, and she's giving no pushback.
We're so hurt that we look. Anyway, I'm going to just stop there, Doc. What I want to say is, as a person who really studies our mental health, and Doc, we're going to be calling to you and hopefully get brother up to jump on the plane because we're going
to
fair use.
We'll be doing a series of panel discussions and workshops talking about the state of the black mind because this is evident. The black mind.
Nah,
I think somewhere along the line, Brother Ankh and Dr. Mayat, that we believe we started gaining traction.
And hey, listen, family. Ankh comes at FBA saying he wants to challenge us. Oh, and our brother challenged him on Sonetta, and I'm going to play that video in a few minutes. But I want to get to Ankh.
Do it.
I want to get to Ankh.
Do it till you're satisfied.
And I'm not saying your name for a reason. Then you want to play you a damn sheep. You a damn wolf in sheep's clothing because you sat there and you knew what you was doing, and then you wanted to be nice. Well, I'm just trying to critique the elder. You know, he's old. I'm with so and so. Call so and so up and
That's what
have
y'all
the
can
conversation.
do. Hold on 1 second.
Pinwelling on his end, y'all. It's not on my end.
Museum,
Hold on.
I'm looking
That's where
for
I
a
wanna
certain
go.
standard. I'm not looking
Hold
for
on.
a whole bunch. We changed the damn name. Craziest thing ever.
Right.
You think a name change gonna make people see you more than how they already see you? They
Right.
already know who you are. They got the records.
No pan after.
This is an area,
And I'm not
right,
your brother.
that I know Dr.
You keep
Mayat
doing that.
researched in because she gave me the daggone books. So just because you say FBA, nobody's gonna think that all of a sudden, oh, that's a hell of a lineage. Boy, that name right there really fit them, and we know they're a little bit different than the African Americans. Let me tell you what the FBA is. I'm gonna say it. It's a pseudo operation from the
Nigga,
start.
you're a pseudo.
How do I know it's a pseudo operation?
No
Because the
pushback.
museum
Oh,
itself
and she's
is a
fucking
pseudo
relevant.
museum. It's not a professional curated museum. It does not meet the standards. Okay, I'm
No
gonna
more
say it
books.
again.
You got more than enough
I
books.
hear the
You got
word
a whole
museum,
bookshelf
I'm looking
of
for a
books
certain standard.
that I don't read.
I'm not looking for a whole bunch of pseudos and pseudo history. It does us no good now.
Now look at
to be
all these
honest
shots
with you.
he take and then try to act like I ain't hating on him. Y'all gonna say, I know y'all gonna say I'm hating. Nigga, yo.
Yeah, that.
Bro, people are funny.
Talking loud and saying mission crew.
Your brother Tariq, he set out to do that, and I commend him for doing that.
No, you don't.
So don't get it twisted and say, aren't you hating?
How you commend a nigga for doing it and then you call it pseudo?
Yeah, that don't make no
We
sense.
don't need no pseudo museums. Oh, I commend you for doing it, but we don't need that shit. Like, shut up.
Right.
You're a hater, my nigga.
Right.
You're a hater.
Isn't it your speech?
I'm saying this man, as
Books.
far as I know, he's never taken anybody's
books
money.
on PDF.
He said, I'm going to open up a museum.
on
I was
PDF
expecting a museum,
You can
but
download.
he didn't give us a museum. He gave us a pseudo-history museum.
It's not all of it.
But at least he opened it up. So I'm not on that. I'm concerned with what I'm always concerned with is information. So just because you call yourself FBA, right, doesn't mean that this is historically accurate. The scholarship that's backing up the FBA is complete tomfoolery. Now, see, they'll get mad at me for that, Doc. They get mad at me for saying that one, that's not a curated.
But she said, oh my God, bro, you was literally at the reparations rally talking about FBA, and now you ain't giving no pushback to that shit. This is orchestrated. Oppie shit. Let me go to the next John, man. Yo, you gotta watch people, man. I'm about to get iced up. Now watch Ankh get iced up by our brother over here. Our brother right here, Red Sun. Red Sun going icing.
Oh, yeah, show my part.
Because they have the genetic studies on it. With genetics, you can get, first of all, you get genetic studies. Okay. Then you got to match up the history with the genetic studies, right? And it's just what it is. And so, to Sarnetta's point, he doesn't trust white people. That's
Hold on. If I may,
I'm not trusting. Come on, Red Sun. Red Sun. I'm talking, son. Let me get my point across. Slow down. It's not a hold on, brother. I'm in the middle of conversating. You feel a need for speed? Calm down.
Yeah.
This is a nice.
Next thing, let's read scrolls. And
I don't want to turn up on your ass because I will. Relax.
Our meeting.
I'm
just like
respecting
TV, YouTube, magazine,
for this particular show. We will have decorum. Hey, Sarnetta, don't mess with my people. Leave them alone.
I'm not messing with them.
All right, leave them alone.
Come on.
Okay, because you know we double streaming. And Dr. Me, I said, what's up, son? How you doing?
Oh, shout out to Dr. Mahat, man.
All right, she up for an award. I'm gonna drop a link, and I want y'all to vote for Dr. Mayat.
Watch this though.
She's one of our own. She's official. I'm gonna get the link together for Sar so he can drop it for her and vote for her. She's always been a stark supporter of the House of Consciousness. I don't want to hear you drop it.
You're gonna drop. Let's see what he got. Let's see why this.
I don't want to hear. I want to drop some signs. I want to see a sign to the picture.
Primary source.
Yeah, we're
Okay,
primary.
I put it in the
wait. Are you trying to say we Indians?
Where is the primary source?
Okay, you know what? I don't want to talk to. I said I don't want to talk to him.
Yeah, he's super too.
I don't want to talk to him.
Hold on. Why he can't be Indian, brother?
Because he's not. He's an African American.
You don't know.
Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. You ain't never seen an Indian in your life look like that.
He might be trying to show you his lineage right now.
Let's go.
My lineage are from the southeastern woodlands.
Watch this. Watch this, sir. Where's your DNA test at?
Yeah, I took 23andMe and
Let me see. Pull it up.
My ancestry says 68% African. It says 11% Chinese, and it says 0.3% North American Indian. And the reason why it says that,
there you go.
I know you don't understand how autosomal tests
I
work.
said thank you, brother.
Hold on, I'm cooking right now. Give me the mic. Give me the mic. I can take
I'm gonna read out.
Give me the mic. Give me the mic.
I'm reading out.
Wait, because I know y'all don't understand how autosomal tests work.
Wake him up, brother. Wake him up.
Let's cook.
Let me cook him right quick, because he brought up archaeology and science and all that when the science is not there to tell us about our Indianness, because they didn't collect North Southeastern woodland genetics like that, and they don't participate in these commercial tests. They only got South American, Mesoamerican, Central American, and Alaska Canadian genetics, which is irrelevant to Black Americans' genetics within the Southeastern woodland. And I'm going to use a primary source from European cartographers, ethnologers. That's right here in the United States. They literally said that the blood of the Southern Negro is what? Unquestionably Indian. They said it in chapter 233 in the source that I dropped in the back from the Bureau of American Ethnology, 19th Annual Report, Part 1. So they literally broke down to you that our culture is American Indian, such as our religious culture.
What source you drop back here? Don't talk as quick. What source did you put back here?
Yo, and then there was a sister that was on Tariq's show that was telling us, like, yo, and this is what she did, bro. Like, you know, Africana studies and American studies or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, they literally switched us from Indian to Negro. We were nothing. Negro is nothing but a reclassification of Indian. Nigga,
Africana.
shut the hell up. Talk about everything pseudo. You just trying to knock us off our square because somebody sent you to do it. You oppy ass nigga.
Brother, I don't see it.
I literally dropped.
No, you say if it's pseudo, I'm here to get this work. Where is the where? That's all you said, red
It's
son.
highlighted in blue.
No, you
I'll
don't have to
repost
do
it
it
right.
again.
I'll repost it again.
Yeah, you making that up. You gotta stop that, yo. You don't waste our time on this motherfucker. I know it. I can feel it. I can smell it.
Shut up.
All right, so I just dropped it to you.
Okay.
I dropped it to sign letters.
All right, hold
You
on.
said a primary source, but
you put it in the
still on the pending.
Yeah, I dropped it to both of y'all.
I got it. We got it. Hold on.
Now
You
they
can go to the page. You can go to chapter 3 in that book.
Hold on. Okay, you got the annual report for the Bureau of American Ethnology. Okay, to the
share it on the screen
of the Smithsonian Institute. I heard you say, and you
Share
said
it on the goddamn screen.
in 1895. It says what? Let me share
This
this.
is talking about what Black Americans are in that time frame, and saying that the blood of the Southern Negro on page 233.
All right, we're gonna get
in the middle
hold
of the
on.
page.
Hold on, we're gonna get to 233. Hold on.
Cook
this. I promise. If you read that, you can read chapter 3.
I know. 200, hold on. Hey, yo, you don't gotta talk. We talk through all sources. At least when I'm here, I'm not running around playing with y'all. I don't got time for it.
How you know a nigga lose?
233, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, hold on, bro. Let's see. Let's see if you can read them now.
And this is the primary source family.
You gonna put it on the screen, Uncle? What?
It's on the scrreen. That's up. That's all matter.
I
guarantee it debunk itself.
Blow it up.
No, it don't.
That's it. I can't blow it up.
All right, hold on. I can blow it up.
Yeah, put that. There we go.
All right, let's see. Where we at? Page 114, yo?
I said 233. It's from James Mooney and Ader.
Hold on, yo.
So it's talking about what they observed.
Slow down, man.
The retention.
He's explaining this, huh? I mean, he's explaining.
It's in chapter 3. I said it. I said what the chapter is and the page number.
Big up to the community skeptics too. 233. Joining the family tonight.
Go ahead, read it out loud, man.
I don't read it. He gonna read it out loud. Let me see.
You can go to the spot too. You know that, right?
We can't see it, whatever it is.
Hold on, don't worry about it. I'm gonna get there. Hold on, everybody. We know how to get it. 34. All right, that's 233. Okay.
At the top, they say Wabo.
The what?
Biggest day.
What it say? The what?
It say Wabo. It's a you know how some of these pan goofies out here using that term Wabo?
No, we're not talking about no. We're not calling each other names.
Yeah.
Because I could
y'all like to use that word to insult Black Indians, right?
No, I'm the best at it, bro. So we ain't.
Hold on, brother. Y'all in y'all circle like to put on the
stop calling people names, though, yo.
I'm not calling nobody name, but this is what your people be doing
I don't even like it. Listen, because you about to be a goofy. Not at all.
I'm pointing out where it says
Calm down, yo. Get some decorum. So you on page 333?
I said 233. 233. You see the word Wabo, biggest day at the top of the page.
Hold on. Wabo.
Come on, man.
Yep.
No,
now, to bring in the context what a Wabo is, because people keep saying it's pretend.
No, we don't know what it means. No, we're not doing none of that.
Hold on, it's in the book.
233.
It's in the book.
John, we're at 233. Now, what you want to read on 233?
So it tells you the full context that we have similar deities as
No, where is it? What are you doing?
It's in the middle of the page. It's talking about how
not all tell the same story right there. With some tribes, the winter season is right there.
You say what?
I'm on page 233.
Yeah, at the top of the page is talking about
in regard to the contrast between two races. Hold on, yo.
To the middle of the page, y'all.
I'm here. It say in regard to the contrast between two races by which such stories could be borrowed from one another. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, dummy.
Zoom in. Let's read along.
No,
he only know one sentence. That's crazy.
No,
Zoom
bro.
in. Zoom in and read along. You want the full context? Because I read it multiple times.
No, man, we here. Everybody can see it now.
That's almost it. That's
All right,
that's
hold
a
on.
little bigger, but it's
Hold on,
not
I
bad.
got you. I'm gonna keep coming.
Yeah, it says it right there. Wabo at the top. Algonquin tribes. The name Wabo. You see?
No, man. All right, so we're in the middle. It say in regard. Go ahead.
Right there. At the bottom of the page, it say unquestionably Indian. The Southern Negro is
man.
unquestionably Indian.
No.
And this is repeated through
Hey, yo, you gotta
Jackie
stop real quick.
Forbes
Can
and
you
Auburn
just stop
Law.
for a minute, man? You
No,
talking about the
right.
Negro with the genius from what? Right here?
So right here in this book.
Did I highlight it? Come on, man.
It's above it, dude.
What? Oh, where at?
It's right above where you highlighted it. It says unquestionably Indian.
Right here?
Yes, that paragraph right there. You is underneath that.
Go ahead.
Yes,
What it say?
read it. Furthermore, as the coast tribes dwindled, they were compelled to associate and intermarry. I can't see it because it's blurry. All right, so intermarry with Negroes until finally they lost their.
per page, exactly.
Okay, you keep moving the thing.
I ain't moving
all they
nothing.
do.
We heard what you said.
That's
But
all
you
they
did
do,
right
bro.
there.
You can't want to read what it
It
say right
says
there on the
down
page.
I'm gonna read it for you.
Not
Say
read
the
it.
Negro wiped out the
Fine
Indian.
now.
Hold on, we just gonna
No,
read
it didn't. It said that the blood of the Southern
Relax.
Negro is
They don't want actual
Relax. I'm
information.
gonna read
So how
this
can you
for
get around that?
Listen, we have a rule around here, and it's called pseudo always dies
Bunch
in
of
force.
That's not
Yeah,
pseudo.
you
That's a
drop it.
government document.
You gonna shut up while I
If
read
the
this
government
book.
say it is,
What I'm gonna do is
go.
I'm gonna read your source
Oh my.
because we live, right? Thousands of African Americans watching us. We're gonna read the source so I can show people how pseudo dies is their source. This man
Grandma,
with
right
this
here,
source
right here with
proves
you.
and verifies that a Negro is an Indian. So we're gonna read it. It says, furthermore, as the coastal tribes they dwindled.
Right.
He said they were compelled to associate and intermarry with the Negroes until they finally lost their identity and were what's this? What class
Off the top of my
with
head, bro.
that race? So there you go, brother.
That's crazy. A considerable portion of the
Yes.
blood of the Southern Negro is what?
I agree
You
with you.
just denied. You just said you lied and said
I
we're
agree
not
with your
Indian,
source.
but then said you were.
Brother, I agree with your source. So now let's talk about what the source says. It says they intermarry with the daggone Negroes. That's what it says, brother. So I agree with that. I have no problem with that.
So did you know who sourced this?
I have no problem
You
with
know
that.
how I found this?
Reminder.
See, Ankh is saying that, but he's
I'm
not
still waking up.
saying the part that says the blood is undeniably Indian. He's not.
Yeah, that's all they
reading
do is
that
talking
part.
to each other.
I'm trying to tell you, this nigga is
Yes,
a
everybody can
fucking.
tell.
Ooh, this nigga's a bitch.
Yeah, no decorum.
Yo, I'm trying to tell you, these niggas is oppie. We gotta
Yeah, they're
cut
picking
all
and
these
choosing what
niggas
they want
off,
to see.
bro. At the knees, nigga. Cause even Sarnetti, you got a video talking about what is FBA? Like, bro, stop trying to act dumb.
Right.
And
Stop
all y'all
playing
niggas
dumb,
acting
son.
dumb. Y'all niggas is dead to us, bro.
Right.
For real. Act stupid somewhere else, nigga.
Right.
We ain't messing with
Stumble this evidence because it's in Jackie Forbes, Africans and Native Americans, and he literally tells you the context of how Negro was historically used. It wasn't just an African binary. They said that they clumped indigenous people that were classified as Negro as well. So you can't sit up here and deny that there were
listen.
already
One thing we can do around here, we got some people that can read and some people that can't read. We're not talking about how you pronounce words. We're not talking about if you stumble words. We're saying once we get all the words,
All right, I gotta go, bro.
can we comprehend what the hell we just read? So we're all listening and we're all comprehending what we just read, and it clearly said that the tribes was dwindling and it forced them to intermarry with the Negroes to the point where they lost their identity. We don't have a problem with that, bro.
All right, good. You get Stephon. Stephon, what's up, man?
He's still not reading the whole thing.
Yo, what's up, brother? How you pronounce your name?
Stephon. That's all I wanted to show y'all. But he's not reading the whole thing. Again, the shit said that the blood of the Negro is undeniably Indian. He did not want to read that part. So again, fuck out of here, nigga. You know what it is. And again, these niggas is just ops, bro. At the end of the day, they all ops. And the simple fact that, you know, Dr. Mayat is sitting here allowing these people to come up and tear him down and take mad personal shots at him is whack as hell. That's super grimy, super oppy. And yo, if I was freak, I would never kick it with you again, bro. Real talk. I'll cut you off just like he cut Professor Smalls off.
That's why I'm asking, like, when is he gonna start?
For real, family, we don't listen, man. All these little Pan-African people, listen, they are mad because this foundational Black American movement is killing them.
Walter Plecker,
it's killing them, family. It's killing their whole.
They hate when you bring up
all their money. It's killing all their little what you call it, their followers. You feel what I'm saying? And they know it. They thought that they could see. This is what you call a grifter.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Mayat
ain't no damn elder, right?
Professor
all are the ops.
That's a fucking grifter.
Exactly, Breeze.
A person who's sitting here acting like they agree with you, but really they don't. In hindsight, but they're just acting like they agree with you to just get like the bag from you.
They just hold the weight they used to. They don't hold the weight they used to, right?
Literally just to get the bag from you. That's all Dr. Mayat is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything they said about FBA, you had no pushback. But when I was at the reparations rally, you was speaking on FBA and the lineage and fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to tell you, and I remember when that shit happened with Young Pharaoh. Y'all two was on some super oppy police ass other shit. Yup. And I'm starting to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
We got ops in the community. I don't care, nigga. Listen, you can say whatever about me.
Yep, damn.
At the end of the day, yo, that's grimy. That's just grimy in general. Even if this wasn't no grassroots thing, and this is just personal shit.
Mm-hmm.
Take all the black stuff out of it. We just doing business with each other. I done brung you in on a project I'm doing blind. Let somebody come to your page and just dog the shit out me.
Mm-hmm.
Man, peace, love, and reparations, family. Make sure y'all subscribe, hit that like button, hit that share button.
Y'all do the same for Front Line Blacc.
Watch everybody. We have to watch everybody. And family, we don't fucking need everybody.
Right.
We don't. We don't. It doesn't take a big percentage of people to make the needle move. Think about it. They got that thing popping in California where we about to delineate the where you mark your box for race and all of that. We about to they're delineating that. I forgot what the bill is called, but they're delineating that. That took a small group of people. All 45 million of us or 50 million of us didn't do that. Nope, it was a small group. And that's all we need to get things done and to get this thing going.
Mm-hmm.
Man, screw these motherfuckers, man, at the end of the day.
Right.
And make sure y'all hit that Cash App, $WILLIE0312. Man, I'm out here, family. Watch these suckers, man. We out of here, man. Peace, love, and reparations.
You better watch that dude. That dude is an agent. Shout out to K Reno. So that's all we got for y'all this morning for Grand Rising. Thank y'all for tapping in. What are your thoughts on that? And then your closing thoughts, Lady K.
I don't like how they treated Juan B. Or anybody else. They came up to argue with FBA. I don't like how they did him. I think that he deserves more respect than that.
Right.
They'll him an apology.
Okay, I'll check on crew.
And then, so for everything else, Black Star is right.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of fucked up. Because if she went to the rallies, spoke for us, what the fuck is she doing now?
Right.
And what is the motive to do all that? None of this shit is gaining anybody anything except us living rent free in everybody's head.
Mm-hmm.
So, they can argue all they want. At the end of the day, they're all going to have their hand out.
Mm-hmm.
So we might as well figure out who they are and what they are, so that we can deny them. That have them hold their own nuts, whatever the fuck they're going to do. But they're standing in the way. Just these little conversations are in the way.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're tedious, time consuming. They're laced in cognitive dissonance by miscreants.
Yeah.
They ain't got shit else going on. You know what I mean? And they're not doing anything for us except undermining the whole situation. Yeah.
Right. So watch these dudes. These dudes is Asians. And these dudes like mods. We didn't offer no pushback against none of that shit Ankh and SAR was spitting. Shout out to the 1B and sincere love to God for cooking them clowns yesterday.
And that other dude. You.
Oh, that was on Sonettas. Yeah, and shout out to David Waller, myself, and DJ Joker for going on Sonettas and doing some FBA straightening. All right, so that's all we have for y'all. So join us tomorrow for Front Line Blacc News, Season 6, Episode 3, Part 1. And I don't know, Lady Che might do a RBA later on after Black Alpha Network. So make sure y'all stay tapped in for that. And in the meantime, make sure y'all like and subscribe to all of our platforms. Frontline Blacc News on YouTube and Facebook. The Revolutionary Agenda on YouTube and Facebook. And Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced on Facebook and Twitter. And I do apologize, Shabaka wasn't with us this morning, but I'm sure he'll be with us tomorrow. So, Chris, you can bring your little grievances or whatever to Shabaka. Then please don't leave that stuff in our chat room again. So peace, love, light, reparations and separations, and Black empowerment. Yeah, we'll let them know. Chain Crewman, Lady Chase signing out from the Mile High Income and a legal migrant flooded city in a sundown town known as Aurora, Colorado. Peace.